Chapter 4047. Lin Fei's eyes were extremely sinister. The moment he saw the red-clothed woman appear, he knew that she was a proud daughter of the heavens. She was a real proud woman. He was not inferior to his eldest disciple in the slightest. In fact, he even had more potential. That was because the woman in the red Han costume in front of him was born with a trace of Dao aura. This was quite unusual. This was also the first time that Lin Fei had seen someone with Dao connotation since he returned to Earth. Such a person could be counted on one's fingers. If she was in a different world, her strength would skyrocket with a little guidance. However, in Huaxia on Earth, if there was no guidance, the achievement of the woman in the red Han costume would stop at the innate realm. Even if it was the innate realm, it would take a long time to break through. It might be 20 years old, 30 years old, or even 40 years old. The woman in the red Han costume in front of him was obviously stuck at a bottleneck. This kind of bottleneck was completely different from ordinary cultivation. When he saw the woman in the red Han costume, Lin Fei knew why she had left a message. She was looking for her opportunity. You saw it. The expression of the woman in the red Han costume changed, and she became even more excited. Su Xiaowan was the only one who did not understand. She just felt that these two women were too beautiful. Not only were they beautiful, but they also had temperament. Su Xiaowan could not help but ask, "Sister, are you the proprietress here?" "Sister, you have a good eye. I am indeed the proprietress here." The woman in the red Han costume smiled and said, "You can call me Sister Gao." Although Su Xiaowan had guessed that the woman in the red Han costume was the proprietress here, she was still a little shocked and could not accept it when she said it in person. There was too much information in this news. Su Xiaowan asked again, "Is it you who played the guzheng?" "Yes, I played the guzheng." "Sister, you are so amazing. The guzheng you play is really nice. Can I have your autograph?" Su Xiaowan did not expect that her idea would come true so soon. She hurriedly took out a notebook from her bag and asked Gao Fei to sign it. The woman in the red Han costume was called Gao Fei. She did not refuse Su Xiaowan's request. She took the notebook and signed her name. Seeing the words was like seeing the person. Gao Fei's signature made Su Xiaowan happy again. "By the way, little sister, this should be your first time here. Why don't you let my sister bring you around? I have quite a few interesting places here. Most people are not qualified to go there," Gao Fei said with a smile. "That's right." The tall woman in the guzheng chuckled and said, "Yes, I saw you looking at my guzheng just now. Do you like it very much? It just so happens that I have a lot of newly made cheongsams. I'll take you to try them on. With your figure, these cheongsams should be very beautiful, and they can also enhance your temperament." Guzheng said. Su Xiaowan was not a Xiaowan was as guzheng. Fei was not a host of guzheng as was guzheng, was qi. Lin Fei also heard it and said with a smile, "Wearing a guzheng costume can really improve one's temperament. You can try it. It's good to improve your image." After hearing what Lin Fei said, Su Xiaowan did not have any other ideas. She nodded and followed the tall woman in the guzheng costume out. Lin Fei sat down once again. "Just say what you want to say. After all, it can be said that fate has brought us together. There aren't many people like you who seek to comprehend Tao will. If there's anything you don't understand, feel free to say it." Gao Fei had seen all kinds of geniuses, but for some reason, she always felt a sense of oppression in front of this young man. This feeling was inconceivable, but it could also be clearly felt. This was something that ordinary geniuses did not have. However, Gao Fei did not know such a person. However, the word Dao was clearly filled with the Dao meaning that she had been searching for, and it was very obvious. "I want to know how I can go further. I have been trapped in this realm for so long that I have almost become numb to it." Gao Fei wanted to find the answer from him. In the past 3 years, Gao Fei had been looking for someone who could figure out the layout of the Sihiyuan, but no one had been able to do so. Even when a grand power master came, he only felt that the place was good. No one had ever been able to figure out her thoughts clearly, and this man was the only one. In fact, it is not too difficult to break through your realm. Lin Fei said with a smile, "You are a genius. You should not be more than 25 years old, but you are already at the peak of the acquired realm, which means that you have reached the great completion of the transcendent realm. You are only one step away from becoming a god-level expert. You should have been stuck in this realm for 4 or 5 years. The reason you opened the Sihiyuan was to find an opportunity. I don't know if I'm right." If it was not the first time she met this person, Gao Fei would have thought that there was a traitor around her, because not a single word spoken by the other party was false. It was completely from what she had experienced all these years. Gao Fei had been stuck in this realm for a long time, but she had been unable to find a way out. Therefore, she opened a Sihiyuan outside and even made 4 dishes and 1 soup, which was also known as the spring breeze soup. However, no one had been able to see through all of this. This was the only time. Yes, you are right. I have indeed been stuck in this realm for a long time. At the same time, I have been very troubled. I don't know how to break through. You can't break through because your Tao meaning has not reached the great completion, so you can't break through. If you can't really comprehend your Tao meaning to the great completion level, then you will never be able to enter the innate realm. Lin Fei smiled. Now you should understand why you can't break through, right? This is the biggest barrier. After all, you are different from everyone else. As a proud daughter of heaven, there will naturally be a corresponding test, and this barrier is your test. There were many experts in the sect that Gao Fei was in, but no one could say such a thing. This seemingly ordinary young man was more mysterious than she had imagined. This is the test? Then how can I comprehend the Tao meaning to the great completion? Lin Fei was also bored. After all, it was not easy for him to meet such a person, and she was from Huaxia. Since he had nothing to do, he might as well give her some pointers. This is very simple. Lin Fei suddenly snapped his fingers. Now, I will let you feel what is called the real Tao. As for how much you can comprehend, that will be up to your own fate. Gao Fei instantly felt that she had fallen into a large world filled with divine will. In this large world, Gao Fei felt a familiar aura. This was the Tao that she had been pursuing. 2K Reading Network. Chapter 4048. Gao Fei was immersed in this enjoyment and was unable to extricate herself. After an unknown amount of time, she only woke up from that special dream when someone pushed her body. "Senior sister, are you all right?" Gao Fei, who had regained her senses, realized that her junior sister was standing beside her and that the young man had disappeared. She could not help but feel anxious. Where are they? Where are they? Gao Fei turned her head and looked around. At this moment, there was no trace of the man and woman in the private room. Gone. They have already left. The Cheongsam woman said, "You don't know." Gao Fei shook her head. "I did not feel anything, nor did I know when they had left." "Oh, right, senior sister. What is the background of that young man? He does not look simple. Could it be that he really saw something?" Gao Fei's heart flashed with disappointment. She actually did not ask for the other party's name, nor did she leave the other party's contact information. "Has it been a long time since I stood here?" "About 2 hours." Gao Fei took a deep breath. "You should not have said anything bad to that young man, right?" The tall Cheongsam woman shook her head and said, "No, I feel that this young man is not simple. Naturally, I would not say anything. However, senior sister was in a daze for a full 2 hours. Could it be that you experienced something just now? Do you know about Epiphany and the unity of heaven and man?" Gao Fei said, "Just now I entered a special state of epiphany and the unity of heaven and man. I never thought that I would be able to enter an epiphany that no one else could. I can only say that this young man is an otherworldly expert." "Ah, senior sister, you entered an epiphany just now. Then I shook you just now. Wasn't that a waste of an opportunity? The tall Cheongsam woman exclaimed subconsciously. As a martial artist, she knew better than anyone how rare an opportunity for epiphany was. In their sect, it was not easy to enter an epiphany. They might not even encounter it a few times in their lifetime. The tall Cheongsam woman could not believe that the young man just now could actually make her senior sister enter an epiphany. How amazing was that? I did enter an epiphany. It was a very strange feeling. Gao Fei recalled. It seems that masters were right. There are many experts in the great thousand worlds, and there's always a higher mountain. If I'm not wrong, this young man might be a divine-level expert. Ah, God-grade powerhouses. Didn't they say that God-grade powerhouses no longer dare to show their faces outside? That young man doesn't look like a God-rank expert at all. That's why I said there's always a higher mountain. What we can see is just a starting point. Close the Sihiyuan. I'm going back to the sect. Gao Fei suddenly said. After that day, the famous Sihiyuan in the upper circle of Hangzhou City was inexplicably closed. No one knew why it was closed. Big Brother Lin, you definitely didn't expect that the big sister wearing the Cheongsam was actually a master of Cheongsam design. She even personally gave me a set of Cheongsam sitting in the car. Su Xiaowan chattered and came out with a small bag with a blue and white Cheongsam in it. Judging from the material of the Cheongsam, it was not cheap at all. Although Lin Fei did not give much guidance to Gao Fei, he still underestimated Gao Fei's potential. She could actually enter a deep level after an epiphany. If nothing went wrong, as long as she solidified her foundation, she could break through to the innate realm in at least half a year and become a divine-level expert, as everyone said. In Lin Fei's opinion, he just did a very casual thing. This kind of trivial matter was quickly forgotten by Lin Fei. Giving advice to a little guy at the acquired realm was not a trivial matter. What else could it be? Lin Fei did not pay much attention to it. He could only say that the opportunity had come, and he happened to come to the Sihiyuan for a meal. Su Xiaowan was in a very good mood today. Not to mention anything else, she could not forget the 4 dishes and 1 soup in the Sihiyuan. She also liked the Cheongsam that she brought out later. The white BMW finally stopped in front of the Four Seasons Hotel. Sorry for troubling you for the whole day. You can go back and have a good rest. Lin Fei smiled and opened the door. It's not troublesome at all. Su Xiaowan shook her head and said, I feel very happy and comfortable when I am with Brother Lin. At this time, a sapphire blue Porsche rushed up from behind and directly stopped behind Lin Fei. A young man ran out of the car in a threatening manner. Su Xiaowan, you bitch. I knew you were with another man. What did I do wrong? How could you go and find another man? The man who rushed out of the car roared at Su Xiaowan without any explanation. Su Xiaowan's face immediately darkened. She pushed the door and walked out. Zhang Kai, shut your stinky mouth. Who's the bitch? I have nothing to do with you. It's all your wishful thinking, okay? Zhang Kai was not very old. He was only about 21 or 22 years old. He was dressed very fashionably. In modern terms, he was a fresh meat. Moreover, he was a fresh meat who could afford a Porsche that cost hundreds of thousands of yuan. He could be considered to be from a wealthy family. I'm not talking nonsense. You're my woman. Now you're hooking up with another man. What do you want me to do? Zhang Kai said fiercely. And you, I don't care where you come from. Get out of here right now. Brother Lin, don't listen to him. I have nothing to do with this guy. I've never regarded him as my boyfriend, let alone dating him. Su Xiaowan explained to Lin Fei, this guy is a troublemaker. He's a playboy. Who will like you? Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. After seeing this fresh meat man, Lin Fei knew why Su Xiaowan had stayed in Donghai for half a month. Maybe it had something to do with Zhang Kai. Zhang Kai also met Su Xiaowan at a gathering of friends. At that time, Su Xiaowan happened to open a live broadcast. Zhang Kai fell in love with her at first sight. Zhang Kai was a local rich playboy. He thought he could easily win Su Xiaowan's heart, but he did not expect that Su Xiaowan was not the kind of person he had imagined. He pursued her again and again, but he failed again and again. This made Zhang Kai feel very embarrassed in his WeChat moments. After all, he was known to be unstoppable in his WeChat moments. As long as he was willing to spend money, there was nothing he couldn't get. In his words, as long as he was willing to spend money, there was nothing he couldn't do. But this time he really failed with Su Xiaowan. What made Zhang Kai even more dissatisfied was that Su Xiaowan had left Hangzhou City, and he could not find her for half a month. This time, it was thanks to the help of his friend that he knew where Su Xiaowan was. Friend, since Su Xiaowan doesn't like you, you'd better leave. Anyway, you're young and can find a woman. Why do you want to pester Su Xiaowan? Lin Fei said with a smile, you should know your place. It's useless to pester her. 2K Reading Network. Chapter 4049. Zhang Kai was furious. It was already amazing that he did not ask her to leave. Now, she wanted him to leave. Who did she think she was? Boy, say it again if you have the guts. Believe it or not, I will kill you. Zhang Kai was quite hot-tempered. In Hangzhou City, no one dared to say such words to him. You are so young, but your hearing is so bad. You can't even understand what I said. It seems that you really need to see a doctor. Lin Fei said with a smile, listen carefully. I told you to stop pestering Su Xiaowan in the future. It's not like a rich man like you can't find a woman. Why do you have to make life difficult for a woman? You're a man. Be magnanimous and let bygones be bygones. You should know that I rarely say words of persuasion. I think it's good to persuade people with reason. Zhang Kai felt that he had met a storyteller who had the nerve to persuade him. How could it be possible? Zhang Kai, have you had enough? If you don't leave, I will call the police. Su Xiaowan had already taken out her phone. It seemed that she would call the police as long as Zhang Kai did not leave. Su Xiaowan knew what kind of person Zhang Kai was. He had quite a lot of connections in Hangzhou City. Although she knew that Lin Fei was quite powerful, there was a saying that a powerful dragon could not suppress a snake in its territory. Therefore, Su Xiaowan did not want anything to happen to him. Zhang Kai was even more unhappy when he heard that. I have pursued you for such a long time, but you have never said a few words to me. Now, you are calling the police for a man. His whole face became gloomy. Su Xiaowan listened carefully. Today, I will make it clear. If you don't leave with me today, your friend will not be able to leave Hangzhou City. You should know that I am a disciple of Tianhu Martial Arts Club. A casual sentence from me will be enough to benefit your friend endlessly. It was a threat. It was a threat. As a native of Hangzhou City, Su Xiaowan had certainly heard of Tianhu Martial Arts Club. It was a benchmark in Hangzhou City with more than 10,000 members. It was said that there were powerful masters in Tianhu Martial Arts Club. Those foreign taekwondo, judo, etc. were no match for the Sky Lake Dojo. There was even news that the disciples of the Sky Lake Martial Club were all arrogant and despotic. They never put others in their eyes. The Sky Lake Martial Club was also very capable. It was said that there was a time when a disciple of the Sky Lake Martial Club beat someone up outside. In the end, the big matter was turned into a small matter, and the small matter was turned into nothing. Many people felt that it was inconceivable. Su Xiaowan did not expect Zhang Kai to be from the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo. This was something she didn't know before, but now she seemed to understand why Zhang Kai was so confident. Zhang Kai smiled smugly in his heart. Let's see what else you can say later. If you dare to not give me face, I'll let your friend enjoy my hospitality. From the few words just now, Zhang Kai knew that this young man should be an outsider and not a local. As long as he was not a local, Zhang Kai had nothing to worry about. Zhang Kai had done this many times, but no one could do anything about it. Not only did he have good connections, but he was also a disciple of the Tianhu Dojo. Therefore, no matter who this guy was, he would definitely be able to defeat him. Now it was up to Su Xiaowan to choose. Under normal circumstances, Zhang Kai rarely used this method, but today he really had to use this method to force Su Xiaowan. If it was not for the fact that he had not made any progress with Su Xiaowan, Zhang Kai would not have used this method. He was prepared to slowly roll the frog in the water, but now that there was a stranger, it would not work. Zhang Kai, you're so shameless. Su Xiaowan's hand, holding the phone, trembled a little. Zhang Kai said seriously, "It's not that I'm shameless, but it's the truth. Who asked you to make me unhappy? As long as I'm unhappy, I can do anything. You should know that." "Ha ha ha ha, you can do anything?" Lin Fei couldn't help but laugh out loud. This guy was really quite interesting. "Then make one for me to see." Zhang Kai snorted coldly and showed a fierce look. "It seems that you really did not listen to what I said. If I don't teach you a lesson, you really think you're the king." Lin Fei laughed again. "In fact, even if the king came, it would be the same in front of me. Do you see these 2 fingers? As long as I gently snap my fingers, I will let you enter a wonderful world." Lin Fei gave Zhang Kai a thumbs up and a middle finger, waving it in front of Zhang Kai. Zhang Kai was so angry that he laughed. "I've seen a lot of people like you who don't know how to behave. Since you like to play, I'll play with you." He pounced forward, instantly turning into a ferocious tiger, and his power was faintly discernible. Just this action alone showed that Zhang Kai was really a martial arts genius. Of course, this alone was not enough in front of Lin Fei. "Originally, I didn't want to do it, but for people like you, I really have to fulfill your wish. I'll first break your mouth, then slowly play with you." Zhang Kai pounced forward, and then he used the black tiger worry. Although the move was old-fashioned, it was quite powerful. It was quite extraordinary at first glance. "Brother Lin, be careful." Su Xiaowan was nervous, and her heart was in her throat. Snap! Lin Fei instantly snapped his fingers. "Since you like boxing so much, then go to the square nearby and have a good night's practice. After that, go to the West Lake for a swim and sweat off." These words, which were neither light nor heavy, were deeply imprinted in Zhang Kai's mind like a magic song. Zhang Kai, who was originally pouncing towards Lin Fei, suddenly stopped in his tracks, turned around like a pole, and sat back in the car. With a loud rumble, the Porsche rushed in like a ferocious beast. This scene stunned Su Xiaowan. She did not know what had happened, and only saw the Porsche disappear at the end of the road. "Brother Lin, what did he do?" Lin Fei said with a smile, "I feel that since this kind of person likes boxing, he can't just do it for the 2 of us to see. There are so many aunties at the square, and I believe that they will be very interested in boxing." This scene suddenly appeared in Su Xiaowan's mind. She saw Zhang Kai driving the Porsche into the square, and then started boxing while the aunties were scolding him. Just thinking about it made her feel sour. Was that hypnosis just now? It felt so powerful. Su Xiaowan asked curiously. Su Xiaowan knew about hypnosis, but it was her first time seeing someone as powerful as Lin Fei, who could make Zhang Kai fall for it with a snap of his fingers. "Actually, my hypnosis is used to hypnotize cats and dogs. This is the first time I've used it on a human. Who would have thought that Zhang Kai's brain is worse than cats and dogs? He can't do anything even if I hypnotize him." Su Xiaowan burst out laughing. "Brother Lin, I realize that you're really bad. I can guarantee that Zhang Kai will definitely be on the headlines tomorrow." Shukju website, Chapter 4050. That night, a hot piece of news appeared on all the news channels in Hangzhou. There were more than 1 million hits on the internet. A young man driving a luxury car barged into a public square, scaring all the aunties in the public square. Countless aunties were at a loss. This was not the end. Some people tried to grab hold of the young man, but they were met with a series of fierce blows. Wind blew like a tiger, and a group of people fell to the ground. After a series of vigorous punches, the young man ran into West Lake and jumped into the lake naked, causing countless people to panic. especially the girls who covered their faces. Lin Fei didn't know any of this. It was a silent night. Big brother Lin, you're too awesome. Zhang Kai is famous now, Su Xiaowan said as soon as she arrived. Su Xiaowan knew that Zhang Kai would be in a difficult situation, but she did not expect that he would become a hot topic. Especially those middle-aged women who were interviewed. They wished they could tear Zhang Kai into pieces. I didn't do anything, Lin Fei said. He did it himself. To be honest, I'm very happy to see Zhang Kai like this. As long as you're happy, Lin Fei said with a smile. Today, I'll take you to the martial arts circle convention. Then I'll start the live broadcast. Su Xiaowan had mentioned the martial arts circle convention to her fans a few days ago, and the response was very enthusiastic. The fans had been looking forward to it for a long time. Just don't let me show my face, said Lin Fei. I will never let you show your face. Su Xiaowan giggled. Then let's go. The martial arts tournament was not held in the city. Instead, it was held in a mountain villa in the suburbs. On the road to a mountain villa in the suburbs. From time to time, luxury cars would pass by. Wow, Brother Lin, are these all going to participate in the martial arts circle convention? Along the way, Su Xiaowan saw many luxury cars. The cheapest one was priced at 700,000 to 800,000 yuan, and most of them were priced in the millions. All of them should be. I always thought that cultivators were imaginary. I did not expect it to be held in a mountain villa. Furthermore, it is so rich. This is beyond my imagination. Su Xiaowan was very surprised. Lin Fei knew very well that martial artists were not as poor as imagined. On the contrary, they were quite rich. Driving a car worth millions was actually very normal. When they arrived at the villa, Su Xiaowan was shocked again. The parking lot was filled with luxury cars. It was more than he had imagined. This is the martial arts circle convention. Su Xiaowan got out of the car and could not help but be shocked. Both men and women could do it. They were all very young and wondered if they had come to this place. That's right, Lin Fei said. Do you think they're all old men? Su Xiaowan nodded. She really thought so. She felt that she had really underestimated this martial arts circle convention. Luckily, Brother Lin brought me here today. Otherwise, I really don't know if the martial arts circle convention would be like this. Su Xiaowan had learned something new. I'll show you around. Lin Fei smiled and led Su Xiaowan to the gate of the villa. Someone was registering at the gate. When Lin Fei said his name, the person at the door came out. After confirming it, he handed Lin Fei a pass. You can go in. The villa was huge. I didn't expect there to be such a big villa in the suburbs. If I didn't come here, I wouldn't have known. Su Xiaowan exclaimed. As a native of Hangzhou, Su Xiaowan had never heard of such a place. Then I'll turn on the live broadcast. Su Xiaowan could not wait to open the live broadcast software. As soon as the live broadcast started, Su Xiaowan started the live broadcast. A group of fans immediately came to the live broadcast room. The number of viewers also reached more than 100,000 in an instant. What a beautiful villa! Is this the martial arts circle convention? Why does it feel like a vacation? I'm looking forward to it. Su Xiaowan first introduced the situation to everyone, which drew cheers from the live broadcast room. Lin Fei thought that Su Xiaowan was very resourceful as a streamer, and she was also very eloquent. To be a streamer, she still needed some means. When they walked into the lobby of the villa, in the lobby, groups of people were chatting with each other. The most obvious was a banner. Warmly welcome friends from all over the world to the Martial Arts Circle Convention. Seeing this scene, Su Xiaowan burst into laughter. Are you surprised? Su Xiaowan nodded. I'm really surprised. If you think of them as ordinary people, you're definitely wrong. Any one of these men and women can easily defeat a few strong men. Ah, Su Xiaowan really couldn't see it. Isn't this too exaggerated? It's not exaggerated. In Su Xiaowan's live broadcast room, everyone was stunned. This is the martial arts circle convention? I'm sure I'm in the right place. It's a critical hit. I don't believe it. The fans were really shocked. Basically, they were shocked. This is the martial arts circle convention. They really know how to brag. Sorry, videos are not allowed here. At this time, someone came over and said to Su Xiaowan with a slightly gloomy face. At the same time, he stretched out his hand as if to grab a mobile phone. After all, it was Su Xiaowan's first time here, so she was somewhat flustered. As soon as the other party came up to grab the mobile phone, his behavior was also very overbearing. Friend, there seems to be no restrictions in this place. Just as the man was about to grab him, Lin Fei made his move. He grabbed the man's wrist, and without any hesitation, he grabbed it. This person was obviously stunned. Obviously, he didn't expect that someone could grab his hand. He looked up and saw that it was a very strange young man. He immediately used his qi, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't pull his hand back. Don't tell me you have the nerve to bully a girl. Since it's the martial arts circle convention, it must be publicized. Don't tell me you have the nerve to bully a woman? Lin Fei said with a smile. Who are you? The man asked. His heart also sank. Who are you? I'm an ordinary martial artist who came to participate in the martial arts circle convention. The man almost spat out a mouthful of blood. How can he be called an ordinary martial artist? He was an inward strength martial artist himself. Just now, he used his inward strength, but it didn't work. He realized that this guy was an expert. Everyone is looking. Don't make a fuss. Lin Fei withdrew his hand, but a force shook his body, and he took a few steps back. The man looked him up and down for a while. You're amazing. He turned around and left. Forget it. Brother Lin, are you okay? Su Xiaowan was a little worried. I'm fine. Just continue the live broadcast. Su Xiaowan was relieved and continued the live broadcast. Many young people present also saw the scene, and they were a little surprised. They didn't know who that man and woman were. That man was an expert in the villa. Su Xiaowan, how dare you come out? Not long after Su Xiaowan's live broadcast, an angry roar came from outside the hall. She saw a group of people rushing in. When this group of people came in, many people's expressions changed. People from Tianhu Martial Arts Club. It seems that something is going to happen. Su Xiaowan looked back and saw Zhang Kai, whose face was covered with claw marks. She burst into laughter. 2K Reading Network. Chapter 4051. Now, Zhang Kai's current appearance was really amusing. Su Xiaowan could not help but laugh. This was completely different from what she had imagined. She could even imagine Zhang Kai's embarrassing appearance when he was grabbed by the middle-aged woman. Xiao, 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 shut up. Zhang Kai suddenly looked flustered and exasperated. His fierce eyes moved away from Su Xiaowan and fell on Lin Fei. Zhang Kai had seen everything that had happened last night, but he couldn't control himself. It was a very scary feeling. He was a dignified disciple of Tianhu Martial Club and a famous person in Hangzhou City. But now he had suddenly become a big joke in his circle. Originally, the matter was temporarily suppressed. However, Zhang Kai had encountered this guy in the martial arts circle assembly. It was really a case of wearing out iron shoes in fruitless search, only to find him by chance. Zhang Kai could not help but bring some people over. Junior brother, this is the guy who attacked you. Several senior brothers of Tianhu Martial Arts Club also came with him. After all, Tianhu Martial Arts Club was one of the top martial arts clubs in Hangzhou. The disciples of Tianhu Martial Arts Club were also divided into drill disciples and inner sect disciples. Zhang Kai and the others belonged to the inner sect disciples. Zhang Kai was able to come out so quickly thanks to his relationship with Tianhu Martial Arts Club. Otherwise, with his vile nature, he wouldn't be able to come out as he wished. Even if he came out, Zhang Kai couldn't show his face outside. Therefore, he came to the martial arts circle assembly to relax. Senior Brother Feng, this is the guy. Senior Brother Feng's name was Feng Dong. He was a martial artist and had a very good relationship with Zhang Kai. In fact, it was Feng Dong who brought Zhang Kai to attend the martial arts circle assembly today. Feng Dong patted Zhang Kai on the shoulder and said, "I will help you. If he dares to play tricks on you, he will be my enemy. I will teach him a lesson." Feng Dong's eyes became more fierce. He glanced at Zhang Kai and said, "I don't care who you are, what your name is, or where you come from. Kneel down now and wait for my junior brother to vent his anger on you." Feng Dong's words were condescending like a king. No one was allowed to resist. Lin Fei said to Su Shaowan, "Turn off the live broadcast first." No matter what, this time, Lin Fei came with the identity of Dong Hai. If he really made a mess in the martial arts circle convention, it would more or less be a little embarrassing. Therefore, he asked Su Shaowan to turn off the live broadcast first. Su Shaowan turned off the live stream very quickly, but the fans in the live stream room were still in an uproar. After all, many of them were from Hangzhou City. They had more or less seen what had happened yesterday on the internet. So when they saw Zhang Kai, they could not help but be angry. Under normal circumstances, this guy should be locked up. How could he appear here? After Su Shaowan turned off the live broadcast, she secretly took a deep breath. It seemed that a lot of things had really happened. She knew that Zhang Kai had made the headlines last night. Now that the fans in the live stream room had seen it, Su Shaowan could not help but have a headache. Just now, Su Shaowan did not pay attention to this matter. Only now did she know that it seemed to be a little troublesome. However, when she saw Lin Fei, she did not know why. It seemed that as long as Lin Fei was here, everything would be a small matter. This feeling was very incredible, but it was real. As soon as the people from Tianhu Martial Arts Club came over, many people secretly observed them, especially after they recognized Feng Dong. It should be known that Feng Dong was a young talent from Tianhu Martial Arts Club. At a young age, he had reached the level of covert power. It was said that he was extremely talented and might become a generation of guru in the future. In the circle of Hangzhou City, more or less, people had to respect Feng Dong from Tianhu Martial Arts Club. Who is that young man? He actually offended Feng Dong from Tianhu Martial Arts Club as soon as he came here. Where did this unorthodox method come from? He beat up the people from Tianhu Martial Arts Club. In my opinion, unless it's someone from the older generation, no one can control Feng Dong's temper. But it's normal. After all, this is Hangzhou City. It's their territory. How can they tolerate an unruly person who dares to act presumptuously here? If I were him, I would also teach him a lesson. That lady is quite pretty, and she looks like a broadcaster. I don't know how she ended up following such an unlucky guy. Maybe she'll suffer later. You people don't practice martial arts properly. You only know how to bully the weak. To be honest, I am very unhappy with your behavior. I think there is a very good saying, you have the strength of a warrior, but you have no moral character. Therefore, you should all be locked in a cage. Lin Fei said very seriously. This was not the first time he had encountered such a thing. In general, the martial arts circle was not as peaceful as he had imagined. Lin Fei now understood why there were existences like the Yan Huang battle team and the Martial Gate. It was just that the Yan Huang battle team's ability was slightly weaker, and they were unable to suppress the Martial Gate. There was no need to guess. This Sky Lake dojo must have joined this huge force, which was why they dared to say such words. Feng Dong laughed and said, "What you said is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Locking warriors in a cage? You are really thinking too much. Even the Yan Huang battle team cannot do that. What qualifications do you, a brat, have to say such words?" Lin Fei nodded seriously and said, "Actually, I do have the qualifications to do such a thing. However, today is the martial arts circle convention. I won't say much to you. Take your junior brother and leave this hall. Don't disturb everyone's mood." After all, it is not easy for everyone to come to the martial arts circle convention. I don't want to make this martial arts circle convention a mess. Zhang Kai said fiercely, "Do you really think you are the king of heaven? You can make the martial arts circle convention a mess. Don't say such polite words. Just stand there obediently and let me break your limbs." And you, Su Shaowan, chose to follow such a person of all people. If I don't let you sing the Song of Conquest today, then I am not Zhang Kai. Since my junior brother has said so, I don't think you'll be honest. Since that's the case, I'll help you, said Yishiwen. 2 junior brothers walked out from behind Feng Dong. Both of them were strong and muscular. Outside, they looked like muscular men. Both of them had cruel smiles on their faces. This is my junior brother. Their specialty is grappling, and it's not an ordinary grappling technique. With your small arms and legs, if you get caught later, I think you'll be crying for your parents. Alas, why do you have to do that? Chapter 4052. The 2 Tianhu disciples were both at the obvious strength realm. In a few steps, they pounced on Lin Fei and tried to capture him. They wanted to pinch Lin Fei to the ground on the spot. There were 2 bangs. Lin Fei did not seem to have done anything. He only flicked his sleeves, and the 2 cultivators, who weighed over 100 kilograms, were sent flying. They smashed into the marble floor. The solid sound caused all the cultivators present to suck in a breath of cold air. That's too fast. He could even imagine the scene. That intense pain was definitely uncomfortable. What shocked them even more was that this young man was so skilled that he even dared to beat the people from the Tianhu Martial Arts Club. Once he started, it would be hard for him to stop. Everyone knew Feng Dong's character. He was known as a bully in the Tianhu Martial Arts Club. His favorite thing to do was to challenge all kinds of martial arts clubs. At least dozens of people had been injured by him. Some of them were even in the hospital. Zhang Kai, who was next to him, was excited when he saw that guy attack. He knew that once that guy injured someone from the Sky Lake Dojo, and with Senior Brother Feng present, Senior Brother Feng wouldn't need to say anything. Senior Brother Feng would teach that guy a lesson. That was why Zhang Kai was so aggressive when he saw Lin Fei at the entrance of the lobby. With Senior Brother Feng's support, what was there to be afraid of? Senior Brother Feng's master was the curator of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club, and the curator was a Grand Master expert. They possessed terrifying battle prowess. Although they couldn't overturn mountains and seas, no one who had been targeted by them had ever survived. Boy, how dare you beat the people from the Tianhu Martial Arts Club? You're dead meat. Not everyone can touch our Tianhu Martial Arts Club. The disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club behind Feng Dong were angry. This time, they had brought a lot of disciples to participate in the Martial Arts Club assembly. In fact, they had brought them here to broaden their horizons. The Martial Arts Club assembly was an exchange meeting. At the same time, it was also an exchange activity used by Hangzhou City to announce its strength to the outside world. Now, the people from the Tianhu Martial Arts Club had been beaten before the event began. Everyone knew that the Tianhu Martial Arts Club was second to none in Hangzhou City and also a benchmark in the martial arts circle. Come at me if you have the ability. Don't talk nonsense. Lin Fei laughed and said, "And Zhang Kai, it seems that you haven't suffered enough last night. Do you want me to give you another free meal?" Zhang Kai's eyes narrowed. He was unable to remain calm. After all, not only had he been caught by the aunties of the square last night, some of them had even taken advantage of him. It was so disgusting that he hadn't been able to sleep well the entire night. "You dare! If you dare touch me again, my senior brother will definitely help me vent my anger." Zhang Kai was so frightened that he took a few steps back. Until now, he still had not completely understood how he had fallen for the trick. However, he more or less had some understanding of it. This guy might even have a skill in hypnosis. Zhang Kai was really afraid that he would be hypnotized again. The last time he was hypnotized in the square, he was already in such a state. If this were to happen again, Zhang Kai could not guarantee what would happen to him. Just thinking about it made him feel uneasy. Not only did you hit a member of our martial arts club, but you also dared to threaten my junior brother. You are really capable. Few people in this place dare to say such words to you. Feng Dong was really angry. I have already hit you. What can you do to me? Lin Fei said very calmly, an ant like you, I can kill you with one finger. However, I have a good temper now, so I don't want to talk too much with you. As long as you leave now, I can pretend that nothing has happened. Once I take action, you will not have a good ending. Lin Fei really did not like this kind of trivial things like fighting and killing. Even his immortal divine body did not exert its full strength. Otherwise, these ordinary flesh and blood bodies would not be able to resist his attack at all. Feng Dong was infuriated. In front of so many people, as a member of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club, if he left, it would mean that he was afraid of the other side. Moreover, he was a warrior of covert power, so there was really nothing to be afraid of. Since you dare to say that, let me see what makes you think you can say that. Forget it. I don't even want to fight with a piece of trash like you. Lin Fei shook his head and snapped his fingers. If you can stand it, I'll snap my fingers first. A crisp sound rang out. Before the crowd realized what was going on, they found that Feng Dong's face became listless. Since you like it so much, you can practice boxing here. And you, Zhang Kai, do the same. Practice here for 3 days and 3 nights. Energetic people should have a good exercise. The moment Lin Fei snapped his fingers, Zhang Kai actually noticed it. He wanted to run away, but he could not. His expression immediately changed, and he fell into a state of stupefaction. The crowd saw Feng Dong and Zhang Kai start practicing their boxing skills like puppets. One punch after another, strong and vigorous. After finishing one set, he did another set, repeating it over and over again. Everyone was dumbfounded once again. Hypnosis. This is definitely hypnosis. It's amazing. I didn't expect there to be such a hypnosis. Feng Dong is a warrior of covert power, but he fell for it just like that. Some people who had looked down on them did not dare to look down on them anymore. With this method, even the people of covert power did not dare to have any ideas. With just a snap of his fingers, he was controlled like this. I guess only a guru can do this. Su Xiaowan gently pulled Lin Fei's arm and said worriedly, Brother Lin, let's go. Lin Fei chuckled and said, What's there to be afraid of? Actually, there's really nothing to worry about. We're just here to watch the show. You don't say a senior brother's fist technique is better than a junior brother's. It's more imposing. If we don't have money, we can still sell our skills and earn some money to spend. Who dares to make trouble in the martial arts circle convention? Are you really full and have nothing better to do? At this moment, 3 people walked out of the hall. The giant in the lead had a loud voice like a huge bell, which suppressed everyone's voices. Even so, Feng Dong and Zhang Kai continued to practice their punches without being affected at all. It's Director Shui from the Yan Huang battle team. At the mention of Director Shui, these young people's expressions changed, as if they had seen a huge beast coming. They saw a 98 meters tall giant walking over. Every step he took had a strong aura. Chapter 4053. This person's presence was completely different. He was a real big shot in Hangzhou. The disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club seemed to have found their savior. Director Shui, catch him quickly. He's causing trouble at the Martial Arts Club and controlling our senior brother Feng using crooked means. The disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club were also good at talking. They immediately put a label on Lin Fei. Today was the Martial Arts Club convention, which was jointly organized by the Yan Huang Battle Squad and the top masters in Hangzhou's martial arts circle. Whoever caused trouble here was equivalent to slapping the faces of these 2 people. Shut up. No one will think you're mute if you don't speak. There was a loud bang, like thunder, directly exploding in the hearts of the disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club. Puff, 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 puff. The disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club vomited blood and sat on the ground shakily. Everyone knew that Director Xue's temper wasn't that good to talk to. Once Director Xue got angry, it meant that he was in a very bad mood. No matter who it was, they wouldn't give him face. Everyone could not help but sweat for the young man. Director Xue turned around and said to someone behind him, "Your disciples of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club should be disciplined. They have no respect for their elders." The person that Director Xue was talking about was the deputy director of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club, Lei Yi. He was also a tall and strong man with a very strong aura, but he was still a head lower in front of Director Xue. Director Xue is right. When we go back, I will discipline them well, Lei Yi said. Thunder, one responded. Someone, take these blind guys back and lock them up for a week. Immediately, the people from the Tianhu Martial Arts Club helped them out of the room. You're the one causing trouble here. Director Xue glanced over. Zhang Kai and Feng Dong knew each other. They had seen each other a few times, but the current situation made him somewhat unable to figure it out. However, he knew in his heart that they should have been hypnotized by a strong spiritual force, and his voice just now actually wanted to wake the two of them up. But in the end, he still underestimated the power of this hypnotism. He was a great master ranker, yet he couldn't wake the two of them up. Could it be that your Yan Huang battle team is also planning to interfere? Lin Fei laughed. If that's the case, then this martial arts convention will be meaningless. As soon as Lin Fei spoke, Chief Xue immediately locked onto Lin Fei. Vice Curator Lei Wen from Tianhu Martial Arts School was in a very bad mood. He swept his fierce gaze over. How dare you cause trouble in the martial arts tournament? I don't care what your reason is, but you should go and think about what you did wrong. Someone behind Lei ran straight to Lin Fei. This Lei also knew how to talk. No matter what, he had to take Lin Fei away first. If he fell into the hands of the Tianhu Martial Arts Club, they could do whatever they wanted, and no one could say a word about it. You can go now. As soon as Lei's men came out, a big hand blocked in front of them. Director Xue said, "This matter should be caused by your Tianhu Martial Arts Club. It has nothing to do with him." When Lei heard this, his whole face changed. He knew that Director Xue was a very old-fashioned person, and he was never polite to anyone who caused trouble. However, what kind of situation was this now? He actually spoke up for that person. Before Lei could completely recover, Director Xue strode in front of Lin Fei. Young Master Lin, you should have informed us in advance that you are coming to Hangzhou. You are an important guest, so our Yan Huang battle team should have come to pick you up. If that guy knows, he will definitely call me and tell me. The tense expression on Director Xue's face became bright. This scene made everyone stunned, and they all wondered who this young man was. It was very rare for Director Xue to speak so warmly. Lei also opened his eyes wide. Young Master Lin? When did they have such a person in Hangzhou? Even he didn't know about it. This was almost impossible. There is no need for your Yan Huang battle team to pick me up. Anyway, this time I just came to Hangzhou to have a look. I heard that there was a martial arts conference, so I came to have a look. Who knew that this kind of thing would happen? Lin Fei shook his head and said, Director Xue's heart couldn't help but thump. If it was someone else, he might not care, but the person in front of him was definitely a powerful person. One should know that there were many masters in Donghai, but they were all defeated by Lin Fei. Even the Shan family, one of the 3 big families in the south, suffered a big loss in the hands of Lin Fei. It could be said that the current Lin Fei was a real existence in Donghai, and he was so young with unlimited potential. Director Xue, as the branch director of the Yan Huang battle team, naturally knew about such a person. He was a person that could not be offended. Director Xue didn't want Lin Fei to make too much trouble in Hangzhou. At the same time, he secretly rejoiced that he heard the voice. Otherwise, today's martial arts conference would not be able to continue. That would really be a slap to the Yan Huang battle team's face. At that time, even if it was clear if you let Director Xue find trouble with Lin Fei, it was simply too drunk. Only someone with brain damage would do that. He couldn't wait to serve Lin Fei. Young Master Lin, you are really joking. You coming is the biggest face of our martial arts conference. Director Xue smiled. Lin Fei didn't know this Director Xue, but since he was the branch director of the Yan Huang battle team, it was normal for him to know something about him. Director Xue really knows how to be polite. Just treat me as an ordinary person. Anyway, I'm just here to take a look and ask my friend to help promote your martial arts conference. However, I found that in our martial arts circle, there are many people who rely on their strong martial arts and do things based on their preferences. I think Director Xue should work hard in this area in the future. For example, these two people from the Tianhu Martial Arts School were really not very kind. Lei, who had been standing behind, couldn't help but say, this was a slap to the Tianhu Martial Arts School's face. Although he didn't know why Director Xue was so polite to this young man, he didn't think that this young man could challenge him. Maybe Director Xue was so polite because of the power behind this young man. Young man, you have to be responsible for your words. Everyone in the Tianhu Martial Arts School has good qualities. We are not as bad as you say. Lei walked out with a sullen face. He planned to let this guy know the strength of the Tianhu Martial Arts School. Deputy Director Lei, watch your attitude. What are the qualities of these two disciples of yours? I know very well. Men, take them back to the branch office and lock them up for half a month. This kind of people should be locked up in a dark room and reflect on their mistakes. Young Master Lin, what do you think of this? Lin Fei smiled faintly. Actually, I think it's better to just cripple their strength. People like this will never learn. Chapter 4054. Cripple their cultivation. The moment Lin Fei said that, everyone present was dumbfounded. Director Xue only locked them up for half a month. How could he say that he wanted to cripple their cultivation? Did he think Director Xue would agree? Didn't he know if Lei would agree? Of course, Lei would not agree. Regardless of whether it was Zhang Kai or Feng Donghao, they still had some influence in Hangzhou City. If their strength was crippled, wouldn't it be a slap in the face of Tianhu Martial Arts Club? Lei did not think that Director Xue would agree to their request. After all, it was too much. Director Xue was slightly stunned. He finally realized how overbearing Lin Fei was. However, Lin Fei was not an ordinary person. There were almost 10 grand master strong in Longting Villa, and this was only on the surface. Who knew how many masters were hidden in the dark? Moreover, Zhang Kai and Feng Dong were not a big deal. It was not a big deal to deal with them. Lin Fei was not an ordinary person. What young Master Lin said makes sense. If martial arts practitioners have the mentality of bullying the weak, the circle will be messed up sooner or later. We have to deal with such people seriously. Director Xue nodded hard and turned to Lei. Deputy Curator Lei, what do you think? Director Xue's words were even more shocking. It subverted everyone's understanding. Where did this powerful man come from? Even Director Xue has to agree to his request. It's a matter of crippling their elixir fields. Feng Dong is talented and has the potential to be a genius in the future. It's a great loss that his elixir fields are crippled. Oh my God! Just what kind of man did Little Lon find? His background is way too big, isn't it? Su Xiaowan's family was rich, and some of the people present looked familiar. However, she did not expect Lin Fei to have such a powerful background. She finally understood why Xiao Qinglan was willing to follow this man. Xiao Qinglan had no regrets, even if she had to be a bird in a cage. Su Xiaowan had good eyesight. Naturally, she could tell that this middle-aged man who looked like a giant was someone with a powerful background. Lei's heart skipped a beat. He thought he had heard wrongly. Chief Shui wanted to cripple 2 disciples from his dojo? Did he not know how powerful the Sky Lake Dojo was? Lei really wanted to disagree, but he felt pressured by Director Shui's gaze. Moreover, it was as if he could not be disobeyed. He knew what kind of person Chief Shui was. As long as he spoke, no one could stop him. If the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo refused, Lei didn't need to think to know that the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo wouldn't have a good time in the future. At that time, even the head of the dojo might not be able to mediate. This was because Director Shui was such a person. He was like a rock in the latrine, smelly and hard. Moreover, he was the director of the Yan Huang battle team and represented the entire Yan Huang battle team. Even if the Sky Lake Dojo had 100 guts, they wouldn't dare to do anything to him. Deputy Head Lei said bitterly, Director Shui's words make sense. These black sheep have to be dealt with. I have to thank Director Shui for taking action at this time. If they really cause trouble one day, the reputation of the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo will be affected as well. Director Shui waved his hand, and 2 streams of energy shot out. They landed on Fengdong and Zhang Kai like invisible palm prints, sending them flying and crashing outside. Without needing Director Shui to say anything, the people from the Yan Huang battle team immediately dragged them away. The hall quickly returned to normal. Lei's mood was the worst. The elite disciples of the dojo had been crippled, but he didn't dare to say a word. He hated this young man to the core. Young Master Lin, it's rare for you to come here. There are a few masters here who have always wanted to admire you. Why don't we go together? Director Shui invited with a smile. Lin Fei was also impressed by Director Shui's courage. He actually dared to cripple the Dantian of the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo disciple. Since Director Shui had invited him, Lin Fei naturally had to give him face. I'll have to trouble you then, Director Shui. It's no trouble at all. Director Shui smiled and took the initiative to lead the way for Lin Fei. After Director Shui left, Lei's expression turned even worse. Get someone to investigate this fella's background immediately. Lei knew all the reputable people in Hangzhou City very well, but this person was definitely not one of them, especially someone who was worthy of Director Shui's attention. The only thing he could do now was to get someone to investigate this fella's background. Even though he was furious, he could only hold it in for now. Once he found out who this fellow was, Lei would definitely not let him go. The disciples of the Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo were not that easy to fight. After passing through the hall, Lin Fei and Su Shaowan arrived at a temporary martial arts field in the villa. Many people had gathered at the martial arts field at the moment. Many of them were dressed in martial arts attire, and it more or less looked like a martial arts circle convention. When Director Shui came in, many people greeted him with a smile. However, more people noticed Lin Fei and Su Shaowan, who were next to Director Shui. After all, it was hard not to notice the 2 young people who were walking side by side, especially when they were strangers. There was a row of tables and chairs at the top of the martial arts field. 5 old men were sitting there at the moment. All of them were above 60 years old. Their faces were rosy, and they were in high spirits. They looked like sages, and they had a very imposing aura. Director Shui, where did you find these 2 great disciples again? Are you trying to take advantage of us again? We won't agree to that this time. If you continue to take advantage of us, you'll take everything we have. The old men chuckled as they spoke. It was obvious that they were making fun of him. Director Shui smiled mysteriously and said, "Ha ha ha, you're wrong this time. He's not my disciple, and I'm not qualified to make him my disciple. He's a real young genius." The old men's faces changed slightly. They did have a preconceived idea, but they did not expect Director Shui to say that. They could not help but be shocked. They searched through the information in their minds, but they really could not find out who this fellow was. Director Shui, don't keep us in suspense. We're old and muddle-headed. We really can't figure it out. Director Shue laughed and said, "Didn't you guys just say that you want to see that young genius? He's here now." "What? He's the one?" "He's too young. You're not trying to trick us old men, are you?" Chapter 4055. News of what happened in the lobby had spread inside. Therefore, everyone started guessing again when Director Shue brought a man and a woman in. It would have been fine if they were juniors, but Director Shue had brought them to meet the few grandmasters. Those master stage experts were not young, but they were also genuine master stage experts. As soon as they sat down, they gave off a strong pressure of a master stage expert, forming an invisible special zone. Everyone couldn't help but prick up their ears, wanting to know which family this person belonged to. Something unexpected happened. The few grandmasters who were present all stood up one by one and took the initiative to greet the young man. Everyone was dumbfounded once again. "Who can tell me who that fella is?" The grandmasters are greeting him one after another. "Oh my God, that's so scary. He's even tougher than an iron plate." No wonder Lei from Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo dared not say anything. Coincidentally, Lei brought his men in. Although he wanted to leave, he did not do so in the end. He wanted to find out who that fellow was. He felt disgusted, as if he had swallowed a fly when he saw the scene. Lei knew very well where the few grandmasters came from. They were rather old-fashioned and were like a stabilizing force in the martial arts circle in Hangzhou. Lei had never seen them greet a junior on their own. Moreover, they seemed to be on the same level as him, judging by their enthusiasm. That made Lei even more confused, and he was getting angrier. He even felt that Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo was doomed today. Even if Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo was influential and everyone had to respect them, it would be impossible for them to teach that fella a lesson. Lei still had some awareness. Not only did the few grandmasters greet Lin Fan, but they even invited the man and woman to take a seat. No matter how one looked at it, they felt that they were from a powerful background, which made it hard for Lei to bear. The 5 old men were all Grand Master experts. They had heard about what had happened in the East Sea. Naturally, they had talked about it a lot. After all, this man had caused the Shin family, one of the 3 major families, to suffer a great loss. This was not something that anyone could do. When they recognized Lin Fei, they could not help but sigh with emotion. It was really the younger generation now. If they were his age, it would be good if they could enter the dark realm. How could they be like Lin Fei, who had become a grandmaster expert? Moreover, his strength was unfathomable. They could more or less feel a trace of danger from Lin Fei. If they were to really fight, they wouldn't have the slightest chance of winning. This kind of feeling was very absurd. However, as grandmaster experts, this feeling was very real. For a moment, Lin Fei became mysterious in their hearts. "Deputy Curator Lei, haven't you always wanted to meet the genius of Donghai? Now that you have the chance today, come and get to know him." One of the old men waved at Lei when he saw him. "The genius of Donghai is here." Lei's heart skipped a beat, but he walked over anyway. He thought to himself, please don't let it be him. Otherwise, it'll be terrible. No matter how ignorant Deputy Curator Lei was, a name popped up in his head when he heard the word Donghai. Lei walked over and stood next to the old man. He forced an ugly smile on his face. It could not be helped. After all, this grandmaster supported Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo, so it was not good to offend him. "I don't think we need to get to know each other. We've already met outside," Lin Fei said with a smile. "Deputy Curator Lei, what do you think?" Lei laughed awkwardly. "Master Lin, it was a misunderstanding. Please don't mind it. After all, there are many black sheep in the martial arts circle. Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo will definitely review them carefully in the future. We won't let these black sheep appear again." Before the old man could introduce him, Lei already knew who he was. Director Shue naturally took the opportunity to teach Lei a lesson. "Deputy Curator Lei, you have to listen to what Master Lin said. There are many people in Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo who are arrogant. You can't do that. We're in Hangzhou. If you cause too much trouble, it'll affect the entire city. That won't be good for anyone." Deputy Curator Lei could not say much. After all, it was Sky Lake Martial Arts Dojo that was in the wrong first. All he could do now was to tolerate it. "Did you offend Master Lin?" the old man asked coldly. Lei's expression turned even uglier. "It's just a misunderstanding. It's been resolved." The 5 old men were all very wary and respectful of Lin Fei. It was because Lin Fei was younger than them and had unfathomable power. Until now, they had not been able to see through him. A person like Lin Fei had limitless potential in the future, and he might even be able to break through to become a divine-level expert one day. He was not someone they could afford to offend. That was why they were so polite to him, because he had the right to do so. In reality, all the martial artists in the martial arts training field had witnessed this scene. They inhaled sharply again. They were not well informed, but they could tell that this young man had a high status. Even Lei did not dare to breathe too loudly. "It's indeed resolved. It's just a small matter. Don't let these things affect the martial arts circle convention today," Lin Fei said with a smile. Everyone laughed out loud. "The martial arts circle convention is an exchange of pointers. It's our honor to have such a big shot like Master Lin here," Director Xue said. Lei felt the worst. He did not know whether to laugh or cry, but he could not leave. More and more people gathered on the martial arts practice field. Not long after, there were almost hundreds of people on the field. "Young Master Lin, the martial arts circle convention is about to begin. You're the genius of Donghai and a guru powerhouse. It's a good opportunity for us to exchange pointers and learn from each other. I believe that with guidance from a genius like you, it will be extremely beneficial for them." Naturally, Director Xue would not let go of such a good opportunity. He had to get closer to Lin Fei no matter what. He had such an idea since a long time ago. As the branch director of the Yan Huang team, Director Xue naturally knew about the situation there. Recently, Donghai's Yan Huang team's overall ability had improved tremendously. The members had all achieved breakthroughs in their abilities. Hangzhou, which was initially ahead of them, was slowly falling behind. Meanwhile, the latter was gaining momentum. After further investigation, he realized that it was more or less related to Lin Fei. Naturally, Director Xue wanted to gain some benefits from Lin Fei. Now was the chance. Lin Fei rejected a few times without success. He eventually agreed and sat down at the front desk. It was unknown how many people were shocked by this scene. 2K Reading Network. Chapter 4056. When Lin Fei was invited to the rostrum, it was unknown how many people were stunned. Those who could attend the martial arts circle convention today were not fools. From the scene outside to the actions of the grandmasters inside, it all proved one thing, and that was that this young man had a very strong background, and it was very likely that this person was from another province. To everyone, it was more of a kind of envy and jealousy. This was the true pride of the heavens. Compared with him, these people were obviously too far behind. Did you see that? As long as you have the talent and practice hard, you will be like them sooner or later. Who said that cultivation is useless? Heaven Lake Martial Arts Club is amazing. In the end, 2 of their disciples were crippled, but they did not dare to say a word. You must focus on practicing martial arts so that you can get rewards. For example, that young man must have practiced hard, at least for more than 10 years. This is the goal you are striving for. Many martial arts masters present took advantage of this time to instill new ideas into their disciples. The effect of this round of indoctrination was quite good. At the very least, many of the young disciples listened to it. No matter how they looked at it, that person was not much older than them. Now that he was sitting on the rostrum, it proved that they also had a chance. The martial arts circle convention soon began. Among them, Su Shaowan was the most excited. After agreeing, Su Shaowan began to broadcast live from the front stage. The Supreme Master Experts did not refuse and approved of it. Originally, everyone had a lot of thoughts about Su Xiaowan turning off the live broadcast. However, as Su Xiaowan restarted the live broadcast, the number of fans in the live broadcast room directly soared to more than 1 million. Everyone came for the martial arts circle convention. This time, they really saw the martial arts circle convention. Although it was different from what they had imagined, it could be considered as an eye-opener. Lin Fei had been sitting on the front stage, watching the martial arts competition below with a smile. He had to admit that there was a certain difference between Donghai and Hangzhou City. The strength of the martial artists in Hangzhou City was much higher, especially the younger generation. There were many masters who could fight, but the people in Donghai City were not. Lin Fei finally understood why Taizhan had asked him to come to Hangzhou City. It was probably because he had lost face. Director Xue sat beside Lin Fei and introduced the geniuses below from time to time with a smile on his face. Although he knew that Lin Fei was representing the Yan Huang battle team, what did that matter? Young Master Lin, what do you think of these people? Chief Xue asked with a smile. His potential is very good. If he were to cultivate diligently, in a few years' time, Hangzhou City should be able to produce quite a number of Grandmaster experts, said Lin Fei with a smile. If they could hear you say that, they would be very happy. Everyone burst into laughter. The entire martial arts circle tournament lasted for a long time, and it only ended at noon. Brother Lin, I think this martial arts circle convention is quite interesting. It's completely different from watching Taekwondo and Jeet Kune Do. You don't even know that I have more than 1 million fans in my live broadcast room. Su Xiaowan was very excited. Although she was also a famous streamer in the live broadcast room, there were not many times that she had more than 1 million fans. She did not expect that the live broadcast of the martial arts circle convention would actually make the number of fans skyrocket. Naturally, Lin Fei would not say that this kind of fighting was nothing. If you saw a fight between Grandmaster experts, it would be really shocking. It's good that you're happy. By the way, there's still a match in the afternoon. You can continue to live broadcast. Su Xiaowan's eyes were shining. Can I really continue to come? Of course you can. No one would dare to say anything if you live broadcast here. At noon, the table was very sumptuous. Originally, Lin Fei and Su Xiaowan planned to find a random place to sit, but they were forcibly dragged to the table of grandmasters by Chief Xue. They did not know how many people were envious and jealous of them. After eating and drinking, Chief Xue suggested that they sit together again. Su Xiaowan happened to be a little sleepy at noon, so Chief Xue arranged for someone to get a room for her. He brought Lin Fei to a small garden in the manor. At this time, several grandmasters were in the garden. When he saw these grandmasters, Lin Fei knew that Chief Xue must have something to say to him. Otherwise, he would not have found such a place. Lin Fei wanted to see what Chief Xue was up to. After sitting down, everyone chatted casually. They talked about everything under the sun. From beginning to end, Lin Fei did not say anything. He just listened quietly. Suddenly, the topic changed. A grandmaster surnamed Su spoke. Child Lin, do you know anything about the World Grandmaster list? Lin Fei shook his head. I've been cultivating all the time, so I don't know much about the outside world. Can you tell me more about it? Chief Xue explained with a smile. The World Grandmaster list is actually no different from the Grandmaster version in our country. It's just that if you want to enter the World Grandmaster list, you must be extremely strong. The World Grandmaster list has a total of 30 strongest Grandmasters. Yi Xian, who is ranked first in our country, is ranked third on the Grandmaster list. You can see how powerful the Grandmasters on the World Grandmaster list are. Lin Fei frowned slightly. The one in our country is only ranked third. Although he had not seen the god of war from Huaxia, subconsciously he should not be weak. However, he was only ranked third on the World Grandmaster list, which made Lin Fei a little disappointed. Child Lin, you don't know. The grandmasters on the World Grandmaster list have deep accumulation. Here in Huaxia, we cultivate internal qi. In the West, they cultivate all kinds of powerful abilities. They are innately faster than us in cultivating internal qi. Lin Fei had not been in this world for a long time, so he did not know much about this. If you have anything to say, you can say it directly. If I can help, I will. After all, we are all from Huaxia. Lin Fei heard a hint of meaning in their words, so he went straight to the point. He knew that these grandmasters definitely had something to say. The few old men, including Chief Shui, smiled awkwardly. They did have a reason for inviting Lin Fei over. After all, Lin Fei was a new star in the martial arts circle. No one knew how strong he was, but not everyone could make the Shen family, one of the 3 big families, suffer such a big loss. Actually, we want to invite Child Lin to join our group and compete for the Moon Spirit Stones that will appear soon. As long as Child Lin agrees, we will agree to any conditions. Wait, what is the Moon Spirit Stone you're talking about? Why do I feel confused listening to you? Chapter 4057. After Lin Fei said this, the few old men present, including Chief Shui, were dumbfounded. In the end, Chief Shui took the initiative to say, "Young Master Lin, don't you know about the Moon Spirit Stone? That shouldn't be the case. You should know that the Moon Spirit Stone is a treasure that cultivators use to cultivate. It is formed by absorbing the sun and moon spirits of the world. It is very rare, and every time a Moon Spirit Stone appears, it will cause a fight." After hearing Chief Shui's explanation, Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Isn't it similar to a spirit stone? It just has a different name. Lin Fei was wondering what it was, but it turned out to be something like this. It just has a different name. I heard it so mysteriously that I didn't realize it. Lin Fei smiled. It's just that the name is different. It makes me think for a while. Everyone's heart trembled again. The Moon Spirit Stone was a rare treasure. From what Lin Fei said, it seemed like he had seen it often. It was really infuriating to compare oneself with others. We have calculated it. In about 7 or 8 days, there should be a Moon Spirit Stone appearing in a suburb outside of Hangzhou City. This is what we have roughly calculated. The specific range should not be more than 2 or 3 kilometers. Therefore, we would like to invite young Master Lin to join us and fight against the foreign enemies together. If it was anything else, Lin Fei wouldn't be interested. However, he was slightly interested in the Moon Spirit Stone. After all, this kind of spirit stone that contained heaven and earth spirit qi was very helpful to him. Although he now had a blessed enclave, it had just been created. It would take a long time for it to change. Something like the Moon Spirit Stone was slightly different. I am quite curious. Could it be that the Moon Spirit Stone doesn't appear in a fixed location? Or do they appear for some special reason? Lin Fei asked curiously, whether it was in a different world or somewhere else. Lin Fei believed that all spirit stones and the like were produced by a mineral vein. It was impossible for one to appear here and there. This was not normal. Chief Shui shook his head. We haven't investigated the origin of the Moon Soul Stone. But every once in a while, the Moon Soul Stone will appear. And every time it appears, there will be a fight for it. This time, we heard that a Western force has infiltrated our Hangzhou city to fight for the Moon Soul Stone. Not only is the Moon Soul Stone helpful to the cultivation of warriors, but it can also help superhumans to improve their strength. I heard that the one who came this time is Mollison, who is ranked 30th on the World Grandmaster list. Young Master Lin, we wouldn't have taken him seriously if it was any other time. However, Mollison is very powerful. He's ranked 30th on the World Master ranking. Although he's ranked last, no one dares to underestimate his strength. Although the few of us old men are quite strong, we're still lacking compared to him. We don't have any confidence in winning. The few old men also smiled bitterly. There were also differences in strength among the grandmasters, and the disparity was still very big. As a member of Huaxia, Since I've encountered such a thing, I have to do something about it no matter what. Lin Fei did not reject Chief Shue's invitation. In fact, he also wanted to see the Moon Soul Stone. He knew better than anyone else that since the Moon Soul Stone had appeared, it was impossible for it to appear alone. There must be some connection. If there was a Moon Soul Stone mine on Earth, it would be of great help to him. Chief Shue and the few old men heaved a sigh of relief. They were not afraid that Lin Fei would not agree, but they were afraid that Lin Fei would not agree. Come. Have some tea. Chief Shue took the initiative to pour a cup of tea for Lin Fei. During this time, he explained in detail, which also let Lin Fei know more information. The martial arts tournament continued in the afternoon. Su Xiaowan's fans in the live broadcast room increased greatly again. From 1 million, it had exceeded 2 to 3 million, and she received countless gifts. From afternoon to evening, she maintained a bright smile on her face. Brother Lin, I reckon I'm really going to become a big streamer this time. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even dare to think about this day. Su Xiaowan was also very excited. It was completely beyond her imagination. Her live broadcast career had ushered in the most important day. Her popularity had increased to 5 million, which made her feel like she was in a dream. It's good to become a big streamer. In the future, when I go out, I can say that I've had a meal with this big streamer. It'll make me look good. Su Xiaowan burst into laughter. Ever since he knew that Su Xiaowan was a streamer, Lin Fei knew that Su Xiaowan lacked an opportunity. After all, she was quite good in terms of personality and other aspects. As long as there was a chance, she would definitely become famous. In the evening, Lin Fei returned to the Four Seasons Hotel. When he was in the lobby, Lin Fei noticed that there were a few strangers there. Their gazes shifted from time to time. Although their movements were very subtle, Lin Fei saw them clearly. Lin Fei pretended not to see them and walked into the elevator. They were just a few nobodies. There was no need to pay too much attention to them. There was no one lying in ambush in the room. Lin Fei was a little surprised. What the hell were these guys doing? Subconsciously, Lin Fei thought that these people should be from Sky Lake Martial Arts Club. After all, Zhang Kai and Feng Dong had been crippled outside today. It could be said that they would never have a chance to practice martial arts again. It was equivalent to giving Sky Lake Martial Arts Club a big slap in the face. Therefore, it was very normal for them to take revenge at this time. When he walked into his room, Lin Fei thought that someone would sneak up on him. In the end, he rejoiced for nothing. If the people from Sky Lake Martial Arts Club really dared to sneak up on him, Lin Fei did not recommend going to Sky Lake Martial Arts Club to teach them a lesson. Until 12 o'clock in the evening, there was a sudden knock on the door. It was very urgent. When Lin Fei opened the door, he found that there was an envelope outside. Interesting, really interesting. After opening the envelope, there was only a note inside. Su Xiaowan is in my hands. If you want her to be fine, come to 365 Westlake and welcome young Master Lin. After reading the words on the note, Lin Fei was not angry. Instead, he closed the door. I really don't know if you're pretending to be smart or if you're really smart. Su Xiaowan is obviously fine, but you actually tried to trick me with a note. You guys are really smart. Lin Fei had left a spiritual imprint on Su Xiaowan. He sensed that the spiritual imprint had not left that position, which proved that Su Xiaowan was fine. The words on the note became a lie. If an ordinary person saw this note, they would definitely go to this address. However, Lin Fei could tell at a glance. Since you guys sent me an envelope in the middle of the night, if I don't go, won't I disappoint you too much? Lin Fei also wanted to see who wanted to see him in the middle of the night. Chapter 4058, Number 365, West Lake. This location was on a mountain next to West Lake. It was surrounded by lush trees and was very inconspicuous. If one was not familiar with it, one would not be able to find this location. At this time, There were already many people standing at this location. The leader was a woman dressed in red. "Senior sister, are you sure that kid will come? Don't let us come here for nothing," a handsome young man asked. The one dressed in red was Hoofing Phoenix. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely recognize her. Last time, when he accelerated on the mountain road, Hoofing Phoenix was so scared that she cried. She did not come out for a long time. He will definitely come. Hoofing Phoenix looked at a place not far away. Speaking of which, everything that happened today was a coincidence. Let's talk about the martial arts circle convention first. Hoofing Phoenix was a member of the Hoof family in Hangzhou, so she was naturally a member of the martial arts circle. Although Hoofing Phoenix's strength was average, her talent was not bad. She really went to the martial arts circle convention today. Originally, she just wanted to join in on the fun, but she didn't expect that she would actually run into that kid, Lin Fei. Not only that, but Lin Fei was even treated as an honored guest and even sat on the rostrum. This caused countless young people in the audience to be displeased, but no one dared to say anything. Fire Phoenix had almost forgotten what had happened last time. Now that she was able to see Lin Fei again, she couldn't help but feel a sense of resentment in her heart. Although Director Xue and the others treated Lin Fei warmly, Hoofing Phoenix always felt that Lin Fei was arranged like this because of the family behind him, and his own strength must be average. Therefore, Hoofing Phoenix planned to trick Lin Fei out and teach him a lesson. At that time, she would vent her anger, and Lin Fei would definitely hold back after being beaten. Naturally, he would not dare to spread the news. Then, Hoofing Phoenix had nothing to worry about. Therefore, he arranged for someone to guard the Four Seasons Hotel and wait for Lin Fei to return. He also arranged for someone to deliberately send a letter over to lure Lin Fei out. As for kidnapping or not, Hoofing disdained to do it. She believed that Lin Fei would definitely come out for Su Shaowan. This was a woman's intuition. "Senior sister, he's here, he's here. He's coming up from the foot of the mountain." A junior brother ran up and said. Hoofing Phoenix said, "Is he alone?" Yes, it's just him. I've been waiting below for a long time, but I didn't see anyone else come up, so I took the small path. He should be here soon." Hoofing Phoenix stood up and said, "Remember what I told you. When that guy comes over, you have to fight him fiercely. Don't be afraid of losing face. That guy is ruthless. If you do well today, I'll take you to eat and drink good food tomorrow. It won't be a problem even to introduce my best friends to you." Tonight, Hoofing Phoenix brought all the powerful disciples of her family's martial arts club. She even prepared some tricks. In any case, she had to make Lin Fei suffer. Who asked a grown man like Lin Fei to use such a dangerous method to scare her? Since returning from Donghai, Hoofing Phoenix had nightmares for several nights in a row. Although she was open and bold, she had never experienced such a thing. She almost lost her life. So far, Hoofing Phoenix did not dare to race. Even when she touched the steering wheel, she would feel afraid. All of this was caused by that bastard Lin Fei. If she did not vent her anger, Hoofing Phoenix felt that she would never forget that guy's hateful appearance. Lin Fei walked up the stone stairs. To be honest, this place was really not easy to find. However, Lin Fei's spiritual sense was powerful. With a slight sweep, he locked on to a group of people above. He even saw a familiar figure. At this moment, he understood who did this. This woman seems to have suffered too little. She actually came out to stir up trouble again. When he saw Hoofing Phoenix, Lin Fei was a little surprised that he met her here. If it was someone from Tianhu Martial Arts Club, Lin Fei would be interested. After all, he could go straight to the root of the problem. However, if it was Hoofing Phoenix, Lin Fei was more or less disappointed. However, Lin Fei still chose to come up. Since he was here, he still had to teach Hoofing Phoenix a lesson. Don't think that men don't hit women. That was just a joke. After turning the corner, there was a stone door. Before he could walk through the stone door, he saw a stone door. "Lin Fei, A shout rang out. Immediately, a large amount of white substance sprinkled towards him. After the white mist sprinkled out, 7 or 8 people rushed out from the left and right sides, holding wooden sticks in their hands. Without saying a word, they smashed towards Lin Fei. Lin Fei couldn't help but admire this fire phoenix. In order to deal with him, it actually used such a despicable method. This was because the white mist that had just been sprinkled was lime. For a martial artist, if they were sprinkled with lime, their strength would be greatly reduced. Not to mention, these people were all strong and had martial arts foundation. This kind of ambush would work on anyone. Lin Fei, you bullied this old mother last time. Today, I will let you taste this old mother's power. Hoofing Phoenix stood on a stone, looking valiant. Seeing that Lin Fei was surrounded, she couldn't help but smile. Ever since she came back, Hoofing Phoenix hadn't smiled for a long time. Bang, 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 bang. Before Hoofing Phoenix could finish her words, the 7 or 8 juniors who rushed up all flew out and fell to the ground, wailing. Walking out of the white mist, she looked at Hoofing Phoenix with a smile. Beautiful lady, you didn't sleep at night and found people to ambush me. You have quite the guts. Lin Fei didn't have a single trace of lime on him. He was clean. On the contrary, those people more or less had the shadow of lime on them. You are actually fine. Hoofing Phoenix's eyes widened in disbelief. I have really underestimated you. At this moment, a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 50s, standing behind Hoofing Phoenix, stood out. Miss, I have already told you that this kind of pettiness is meaningless. Hoofing Phoenix pouted. I just wanted to try. Who knew that this guy was actually fine? I can only trouble Uncle Bai. This time, Hoofing Phoenix didn't come alone. She also brought an expert from the martial arts club. This expert was half a step to the supreme power realm in the martial arts club and was quite famous in Hangzhou. However, at this moment, he stood behind Hoofing Phoenix, respectfully, like a servant. Lin Fei, I am bold. What can you do to me? Who asked you to bully me last time? You are a man. What tricks did you use to make Sister Qingya not contact me? Tonight, I will teach you a lesson on behalf of Sister Qingya. Lin Fei smiled faintly. Wrong. It is not you who will teach me a lesson. I will teach you a lesson. I will let you know that it is immoral to threaten others. People like me like to use their fists to convince others. Chapter 4059. Bai Wuheng was a half-step Supreme Power Master in the Martial Arts Club. After hearing about this, he was very annoyed, so he took the initiative to follow them. On the one hand, he wanted to guard the place, and on the other hand, he wanted to prevent any accidents. In his eyes, this was just a small game, and he didn't need to pay too much attention to it. However, he didn't expect that the young man's strength was so strong that he could resist this kind of small trick. Since they couldn't do it, Bai Wuheng would definitely teach this guy a good lesson to avenge Miss Hua. Hoofing Phoenix was quite confident in Uncle Bai's strength. Even a Supreme Power Master might not be able to defeat Uncle Bai in a few moves. Uncle Bai, help me teach him a lesson so that he won't dare to boast in the future. Hoofing Phoenix hated Lin Fei's words the most. What did he mean by winning people by virtue? What a joke. Bai Wuheng walked down. I advise you to think clearly. Don't lose face when the time comes. Haha, come on, let me see how powerful a master like you is. If you can't even touch the corner of my clothes, you will really lose face. How dare you? Bai Wuheng took 3 steps at a time, directly pouncing forward, directly using a move that could split Mount Hua. His movements were bold and unrestrained, advancing bravely. However, this move directly missed. Obviously, Lin Fei was standing in front of him, but he actually missed. But it didn't matter. He still had a second and third move. Bai Wuheng's combat experience was very rich. One move after another, he continued to attack Lin Fei. Even if Lin Fei dodged the first move, it would be impossible for him to dodge the second. However, After Bai Wuheng continued to attack, he discovered that Lin Fei was just casually standing there, yet he was still able to easily dodge all of his attacks. Bai Wuheng was dumbfounded. Even people in the same realm might not be able to do this. See, I told you, if you can't do it, you can't do it. You just have to be strong. Lin Fei smiled and shook his head. He lifted his foot and kicked Bai Wuheng. He directly hit a stone behind him and spat out several mouthfuls of blood. How about I win people by virtue? Bai Wuheng spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood. Shameless, really shameless, you actually hid your strength. Under this kick, Bai Wuhen's internal qi was shaken to a state of chaos, and he could not mobilize it at all. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. Miss, leave quickly. This guy is very likely to be a Grandmaster Strong. Bai Wuheng quickly reacted and urged Hoofing Phoenix to leave. At this time, Hoofing Phoenix was also quite frightened. In her subconscious mind, this Lin Fei strength was definitely not that big of a deal. However, the current situation was completely different. From the original little white rabbit, he had transformed into a big fierce tiger, and it was the kind of fierce and fiendish kind. Even their Hoof family didn't have many Grandmaster experts, but this person was so young. It was hard to believe. You're a Master Strong. How old are you? Hoofing Phoenix blurted out, obviously not believing it. Lin Fei smiled and walked over step by step. Now we should have a good talk. You let me run out of the hotel in the middle of the night. If you don't give me a good answer, hee. Hoofing Phoenix still underestimated the strength of Lin Fei. Without saying a word, she turned around and ran. The last experience had a deep, lingering fear. Hoofing Phoenix did not want to do it again. Hoofing Phoenix ran very fast. Lin Fei followed her at a steady pace, always keeping a distance of 2 or 3 meters. Fire Phoenix was on the verge of collapsing. She had clearly run very fast. Lin Fei, you are a man bullying a weak woman like me. What kind of hero are you? After Hoofing Phoenix ran for a long time, she still couldn't outrun him. She had to stop. Her eyes were red, and she was about to cry at any time. Lin Fei shook his head. I'm sorry, you're not a weak woman. You have a foundation in martial arts, and I'm not a man either. It's your fault for doing this in the middle of the night. Hoofing Phoenix already regretted looking for Lin Fei for revenge. Not only did she hurt her own people, but Uncle Bai was also injured. Her heart was full of guilt. Then I'm wrong, okay? Anyway, you didn't suffer any losses. Just treat it as the end of this matter, okay? The Fire Phoenix begged for mercy. And I won't trouble you after this. What do you think? Lin Fei shook his head. Whether it's trouble or not, I really don't care. It's just that I'm very unhappy with your actions. You're already a grown man, but you actually used others to threaten others. This kind of thing shouldn't be done by you. Lin Fei walked over. He reached out and grabbed Hoofing Phoenix's clothes. With a casual lift, he made Hoofing Phoenix lay on a rock. No matter how much Hoofing Phoenix struggled, it was useless. Lin Fei, what are you doing? If you dare to mess around, I'll definitely get Sister Qingya to deal with you. Lin Fei ignored Hoofing Phoenix's words. He raised his hand and slapped her, but, moreover, he didn't use much strength. It was very loud in the night. Boo-hoo, Lin Fei, you bullied me. You dared to hit me there. I'll fight it out with you. Hoofing Phoenix had never been hit there in her life. She only felt that every slap from the other party felt like needles. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. It hurts. It really hurts. Lin Fei didn't stop at all. Instead, he slapped down again and again, landing heavily on the ground. Boo-hoo, I really know my mistake. Lin Fei controlled his strength. Even so, it wasn't something that Hoofing Phoenix could take. You know your mistake? Let's see if you dare to do it again next time. If I don't teach you a lesson, you really think that anyone can bully you? Lin Fei wouldn't give Hoofing Phoenix any face. He thought that he had taught her a lesson the last time they raced. He didn't expect that she would do the same thing again. If he didn't teach such a personal lesson, who knew what would happen in the future? Hoofing Phoenix cried her heart out. Her eyes were red and twitching. She had never thought that there would be a man who didn't care about her looks and hit her just like that. Even her father wouldn't dare to do that. Big brother Lin, stop hitting me. I was wrong. I really know my mistake. I won't dare to do it again in the future. Hoofing Phoenix cried her eyes out. As long as you don't hit me, I'll tell you a secret. A secret that will shock you. Hoofing Phoenix was a rich missy. Although she practiced martial arts, she was still a woman. How could she endure such pain? Sorry, I'm not interested in secrets at all. I just want to teach you a lesson. Lin Fei had seen everything. He really didn't care about such secrets. When it came to secrets, who knew more than him? It could be said that he knew everything in the world. What about this thing? You definitely don't know. This is a treasure for practicing martial arts. Hoofing Phoenix struggled to raise her hand. Look at the gem on my wrist. Chapter 4060. Under the night sky, the bracelet on Hoofing Phoenix's wrist became very eye-catching, especially the red gem in the middle. It was shining like a flame, vivid and lifelike. If an ordinary person saw it, they would only be surprised. Perhaps they would think that she was very beautiful and valuable. In Lin Fei's eyes, this red gem was not simple. Hey, why do you have this thing? Lin Fei's hand stopped in midair. He reached out and grabbed, and the bracelet on Hoofing Phoenix's hand fell into Lin Fei's hand. If it was an ordinary thing, Lin Fei might not care, but there was something wrong with the red gem on this bracelet, and it was not a small problem. Seeing that Lin Fei did not continue to hit her, Hoofing Phoenix secretly let out a long sigh of relief. As long as you let me go now, I'll give this bracelet to you. Just treat it as an apology. I really can't bear to give it to an ordinary person. Fire Phoenix was not lying because the red gemstone on the bracelet was not a small matter. At this moment, Hoofing Phoenix was really afraid of Lin Fei. The strength of the palm almost penetrated her body and mind, and she gradually could not hold on. Otherwise, she would not have cried so miserably like a pear blossom in the rain. Anyone who saw her would feel pity. Lin Fei reached out and directly grabbed Hoofing Phoenix's pulse. This time, Hoofing Phoenix was at a loss. She did not know what Lin Fei wanted to do, and she did not dare to ask, for fear that Lin Fei would continue to hit her. No wonder you can wear this bracelet. Ordinary people wearing this bracelet will definitely die. It turns out that your bloodline is not ordinary. With Lin Fei's eyesight, he was able to recognize what the ruby was at first glance. His heart trembled. Although this item wasn't considered precious, it was definitely a top-notch treasure on Earth. It just so happened that it was hanging on Fire Phoenix's wrist, which made it even more extraordinary. Hoofing Phoenix was shocked because the bracelet was indeed unusual. Apart from herself, only a few close relatives knew about it. No one else knew about it. How did you know? When Hoofing was still young, her bracelet was snatched away by someone. In the end, the person who wanted to take the bracelet died not long after. Later, she realized that her bracelet was different. Other than her, no one else could wear it. Isn't it just Firestone? It's not like I can't tell. It's just that your Firestone is a little different. Lin Fei said coldly. Right, did your clan tell you? If we don't find a way, people like you won't live past the age of 25, because the bloodline in your body can't be suppressed any longer. Hoofing Phoenix's whole body seemed to have been electrocuted. She became muddle-headed and stared at Lin Fei. You even know this. How is this possible? You are not a member of my Hu clan. No one can know the secret. This was a big secret hidden in Hoofing Phoenix's heart. There were very few people in her family who knew about it. Even her best friend Bing Qingya didn't know about it. But now it was actually exposed. Because of this secret, Hoofing Phoenix had a bad temper since she was young. Her family didn't dare say anything, so she became like this. With her body's condition, her family wouldn't say too much. Even if she caused trouble with the Hua clan's ability, they could easily suppress it. This is not a big secret. You can only fool people who don't understand. Lin Fei said very casually. It was indeed as he said. Bloodlines seemed profound. But in Lin Fei's eyes it was just like that. There was nothing special about it. He had seen countless bloodlines, especially powerful ones. Last time, Lin Fei didn't notice Hoofing Phoenix's bloodline. But after seeing the Firestone this time, he realized that this Hoofing Phoenix should have a bloodline in her body. It was just that this bloodline hadn't been opened. It was precisely because she hadn't opened it that she was able to carry the Firestone with her. To put it more simply, the Firestone was used to extend the life of the Fire Phoenix. However, it wouldn't be able to extend her life for long. Once she turned 25, the Firestone would reach its end. When the Firestone broke, it would also be the end of Hoofing Phoenix's life. Hoofing Phoenix had never seen a person who could easily see through bloodlines. But now, hearing the other party's words, it seemed like the matter of bloodlines wasn't a big deal at all. In an instant, a glimmer of hope appeared in Hoofing Phoenix. She endured the pain and climbed down from the stone. Brother Lin, I was wrong. You must be an amazing person. Can you help me remove the curse of my bloodline? As long as you can help me remove it, I, Hoofing Phoenix, am willing to become your woman. It doesn't matter even if I'm your lover. I only ask that you help me. Hoofing Phoenix didn't know where this thought came from, but she immediately hugged Lin Fei's arm. Ever since she knew that her lifespan wasn't long, Hoofing Phoenix never dared to think that she could live longer. This was because their Hua family was a top-notch family in Hangzhou. Even in the whole of China, they were considered one of the top families. But even so, they still couldn't remove the curse of their bloodline. As long as they were a direct descendant of the Hua family, no one could live past the age of 25. This also caused the Hua family's strength to decline year by year. Unable to see any hope, Hoofing Phoenix became even more indulgent. She made a name for herself in the big cities in the south. Actually, this was also because Hoofing Phoenix used these things to numb herself. Only then would she not think about this matter. Hoofing Phoenix realized that perhaps she could find a chance to live through Lin Fei, so she didn't hesitate to say something like that. Lin Fei said it casually, but he didn't expect that Hoofing Phoenix would take the initiative to lean towards him. She even grabbed his arm with a lovely and pitiful look. It was very awkward. Brother Lin, I know that you're a powerful person. I've lived for 24 years, and there's never been anyone who could withstand my approach. You're the only one. Please, Brother Lin, help me. Because of their bloodline, Hoofing Phoenix's constitution was similar to that of a normal person's. For example, normal people wouldn't be able to withstand Hoofing Phoenix's fire-based energy waves, let alone something like hugging her arm. Right now, only Lin Fei could withstand it. Hoofing Phoenix didn't want to miss this opportunity. She didn't know if she would be able to meet someone as powerful as Lin Fei again if she missed this opportunity. In Hoofing Phoenix's bones, she still worshipped the strong because only the strong could conquer her. And now Lin Fei was that strong in her eyes. Chapter 4061. Lin Fei didn't know if he should let it go or not. It was very awkward. He had to admit that Hoofing Phoenix was different from other women. Because of her physique, invisible waves of heat rolled over. Not everyone could withstand it. Lin Fei realized one thing. Why would Hoofing Phoenix be together with Bing Qingya? One was fire and the other was ice. They could get along well. No wonder they could play so well. You said your family is cursed. Lin Fei didn't shake off Hoofing Phoenix and asked curiously, Yes, our family is indeed cursed. Not many people know about it. Brother Lin is the first to see it so easily. Hoofing Phoenix started to change the way she addressed him. Let me take a look at your bloodline. Hoofing Phoenix didn't refuse. She took the initiative to hand over her wrist. Lin Fei didn't care about bloodline at first. But after hearing what Hoofing Phoenix said, he couldn't help but feel a little interested. Bloodline curses were not simple. Hoofing Phoenix didn't dare to make a sound. Her heart was in her throat. The bloodline curse had troubled their family for too long. Hoofing Phoenix felt that this might be an opportunity. She was looking forward to it. As soon as he saw it, his expression changed. It changed several times. I still underestimated this bloodline. Lin Fei slowly exhaled. Hoofing Phoenix's heart sank. You know what bloodline I have. Lin Fei nodded. You might not believe it yourself. Ah, your bloodline is the Phoenix bloodline, the primordial Phoenix bloodline. Even Lin Fei was shocked. He thought it was a fire bloodline, but it turned out to be the ancient Hoofing Phoenix bloodline. This was awesome. Hoofing Phoenix's beautiful eyes widened. My bloodline is the ancient Hoofing Phoenix bloodline. Are you joking? If it was something else, she might believe it. Who would believe the ancient Hoofing Phoenix bloodline? It was too exaggerated. No one would believe it. It is precisely because of the ancient Hoofing Phoenix's bloodline that your family has fallen into a curse. This curse will last for a very, very long time. Lin Fei thought that he was very lucky to find his eldest disciple, Su Mei. He didn't expect to meet another Hoofing Phoenix bloodline. He was also a genius. Others might think that this was a curse, but in Lin Fei's eyes it was just a small problem. Once his bloodline was unlocked, his strength would soar to the heavens. His future potential was unlimited. Lin Fei felt that he had underestimated Earth and Huaxia. Maybe the Earth is not what I think it is. Lin Fei sighed with emotion. This was also the first time he felt this way. If I'm not wrong, your family should have collected a treasure. Lin Fei said, This treasure is very precious. Go and tell the family that I will visit the Hua family tomorrow. Hoofing Phoenix was shocked once again. There was indeed a treasure in the family. It was said that it was passed down from the ancestors. At the same time, there was an ancestral saying that there would be great fortune in the bloodline. The people in the family had been researching it generation after generation, but they were still unable to understand it. These were all secrets, but now that Lin Fei easily said a part of it, it was inconceivable. The matters of the family had never been leaked out. So where did the other party hear it from? You want to go to my house? Yes, unless you are willing to refuse. I am willing. I am willing. Hoofing Phoenix was not a fool and knew the meaning behind it. I will definitely tell father when I return. Lin Fei left. Hoofing Phoenix was still excited. Miss, are you all right? Bai Wuheng chased after her with injuries. I am fine. Hangzhou in a villa in the downtown area. Nonsense. In the living room. Hua Tianlin scolded with a sullen face. Hoofing Phoenix stood with her head lowered. But I feel that he really has a way. Our family's cursed bloodline can't be solved by just anyone. Hua Tianlin said, I don't care where this person found out from. At least it proves one thing, and that is that someone in our Hua family is secretly helping outsiders. Hua Tianlin wasn't angry that his daughter found someone to take revenge. That was just a small matter. She shouldn't have leaked the family's news. Hoofing Phoenix returned in high spirits, but she didn't expect to be scolded. Her heart felt bad. Go back and rest first, Hua Tianlin said without any room for refusal. Before Hoofing Phoenix went upstairs, another sentence came from behind. Don't go out tomorrow. Dress yourself well. The Southern Shin family's young Master Wudi is coming. Hoofing Phoenix's heart shook. She opened her mouth, but didn't say anything. Master, there is no need to be angry over such a small matter. Miss might have been bewitched. It's fine as long as it makes sense. Bai Wuheng said. Hua Tianlin said solemnly, Is that kid really powerful? He should be a grandmaster expert. His strength is unfathomable. Bai Wuheng didn't forget until now. In a life-and-death battle, I will definitely die. Hua Tianlin's face was gloomy. If that kid dares to come tomorrow, bring some people to capture him and interrogate him. No matter who it is, they must be punished severely. As long as that kid dares to come, I have 100% confidence in taking him down. Bai Wuheng promised. Oh, right, Master. Do you really intend to let Miss and that young Master Wudi interact? Sigh. Hua, Tianlin's face was filled with helplessness. Our Hua family is getting worse every year. We can't afford to waste time. If it wasn't a last resort, who would be willing? Bai Wuheng was silent. Lin Fei accidentally found the ancient Huifeng Phoenix's bloodline. He was thinking about it. With the fire attribute ancient Phoenix's bloodline, what about the other 4 sacred beasts' bloodlines? Would they appear too? Lin Fei felt that he had found something interesting. This was also the reason why he planned to go to the Hua family. Lin Fei was interested in that treasure. He wanted to know what was left behind. Hangzhou, on a road in the downtown area, in a black Bentley car. Father, I heard that the Hua family's man has a bad temper. He's really willing to give up his precious daughter. Shinwudi frowned. In a short period of time, Shinwudi had grown quite a bit. The Hua family is getting worse every year. Others might not know the reason, but I do. It's all because of that bloodline curse. Shen Tianquan held a glass of red wine in his hand. I've studied it for a long time. I can confirm that it's a bloodline seal. Hua Tianlin probably doesn't know about it himself. My son married Huifeng Phoenix, undid the bloodline seal, and devoured that power. He has a 90% chance of breaking through to the Dao God realm. God realm? Shinwudi's breathing quickened. Father, will there really be a chance? At the very least, there's an 80% chance. I risked my life to get this information out of the dark ruins. It can't be fake. Shin Tianquan's breathing quickened. Who would have thought that the Hua family has the bloodline of the 4 sacred beasts? That's why their family members don't live long, especially the females. This generation is Huifeng Phoenix's turn. As long as I reveal it, Hua Tianlin will definitely agree. 2K Reading Net. Chapter 4062. The Hua clan's villa was very lively today. The Shen clan, one of the top 3 clans in the south, was coming to the Hua clan today. Hua Tianlin, the clan leader, came out personally to welcome Shen Tianquan and Shen Wudi. After all, they had to give face to one of the top 3 clans in the south. The Hua clan was no longer the same as it was in the past. Wudi greets Uncle Hua, Shen Wudi said to Hua Tianlin as soon as he got out of the car. Hua Tianlin was very satisfied with Shen Wudi. Whether it was in terms of appearance or strength, he was the cream of the crop among the younger generation. He had a high chance of becoming a God realm expert in the future. Hua Tianlin wasn't the only one who said this. Actually, many people said the same thing. He would have a high chance of breaking through in at least 10 years. By then, Shen Wudi would only be in his 30s. He was considered a promising young man with limitless potential. The only thing that displeased Hua Tianlin was that his daughter didn't come to welcome Shen Wudi. This made him look a little uncomfortable. Not bad, not bad. You look talented. No wonder you're the pride of the young generation, Hua Tianlin said with a smile. If it was in the past, Shen Wudi would have admitted it with a smile. However, after suffering time and time again at the hands of Lin Fei, he didn't dare to think so anymore. There was a mountain in front of him. If he didn't get rid of Lin Fei, Shen Wudi felt that he wasn't qualified to be the pride of the young generation. Shen Wudi nodded reluctantly. Uncle, you're flattering me. With my strength, I can be considered the pride of the young generation. There's always someone better than you. Hua Tianlin didn't take it seriously. You're too humble. Come in and take a seat. Hua Tianlin was very supportive of this marriage, so he was very polite to them. While Hua Tianlin was welcoming Shen Wudi, Huifeng Phoenix came out of the door quietly. She had just received a message from Lin Fei saying that he was coming to the villa. Huifeng Phoenix's mood was very complicated. On the one hand, she was happy. On the other hand, she was a little sad. With regards to Lin Fei's eyesight, Hoofing Phoenix firmly believed in it. After all, with his strength, he could see through the problem of her bloodline at a glance. Not everyone could do that. However, what worried Hoofing Phoenix was that Invincible God, one of the 3 major families in the South, had come to the villa today. That guy was the pride of the younger generation. Although Hoofing Phoenix did not like Invincible God's fame and potential were recognized by everyone. Therefore, she was worried that Lin Fei and Invincible God would have conflict. If that happened, Lin Fei would be implicated. This was not something that Hoofing Phoenix wanted to see. Hoofing Phoenix sneaked out to stop the 2 from meeting. Lin Fei had indeed come. He was very interested in the ancient Phoenix bloodline. Moreover, he also wanted to know what good things the Hua family ancestor had left behind. There were not many things that could interest Lin Fei now. Originally, he thought that there would be nothing good on earth, which was lacking in spirit chi of heaven and earth. However, it seemed that it was not as simple as he had imagined. There were still many secrets hidden on earth. If that was not the case, Lin Fei would not have come in person. In the morning, Lin Fei declined Su Xiaowan's invitation to continue touring Hangzhou City. Instead, he went straight to the villa that Hoofing Phoenix had left behind. The Hua family really left something good behind. Lin Fei walked over slowly. He squinted his eyes and saw a place in front of him that was filled with an intense fire attribute aura. This kind of fire attribute aura was very hidden and almost invisible. Only a trace of it permeated the air. Even Grandmaster experts and inborn experts might not be able to sense that trace of fire attribute aura. Lin Fei could already tell that this should be an amazing treasure. That trace of fire attribute aura was very overbearing. Although it had dissipated for a long time, it still left a faint trace in the air. Lin Fei knew that he had come to the right place. He was even more curious about the treasure because he knew that ordinary treasures would not have such an effect. Only ancient treasures were qualified to have such an effect. Could it be that the Hua family's ancestor left behind a magic weapon of fire attribute? Even a magic weapon might not have such power. Lin Fei thought to himself. He did not stop walking. After a while, he saw Hoofing Phoenix trotting over. He could not help but frown slightly again. "Brother Lin, I'm really sorry. I'm afraid that you can't go to my house today," Hoofing Phoenix said with a bitter smile. Hearing this, Lin Fei was slightly stunned. "What's wrong? Do you not want me to go to your Hua family? Or do you think that what I told you yesterday was all a lie? It's not worth mentioning, and I was just trying to scare you." What a joke! Since Lin Fei was here, he would definitely go to the Hua family's villa. No one could stop him. There was really no one on earth who could stop Lin Fei. Hua Kuangmang's face showed a trace of embarrassment. He waved his hand. "Brother Lin, you misunderstood. It's not like that. It's just that today is not the right time. I think it's better to change it to tomorrow." At this time, Hoofing Phoenix really did not want Lin Fei to go to the villa. After all, she knew that Invincible God was not a good person. He hated people who were stronger than him. Moreover, the Hua family's secret was not suitable to be revealed at this time. Therefore, Hoofing Phoenix did not want Lin Fei to go to her house, no matter what. However, in the eyes of Lin Fei, Hoofing Phoenix's actions, he could more or less see some problems. "You're afraid that I'll meet someone important in your Hua family so that there won't be any conflict, right? If that's the case, then you can rest assured. In my eyes, there's really no one who can scare me." Lin Fei laughed. "Tell me, am I right?" "How do you know?" Hoofing Phoenix was indeed shocked. She really did not tell Lin Fei that there would be someone important in the villa. Moreover, this person was the kind of person who was arrogant. Lin Fei laughed. "There's no need to say anything. It's written all over your face. You look worried and afraid. If it's not someone important, you wouldn't be like this. I heard that your Hua family is also quite powerful. Therefore, To be able to visit your family, it must be someone more powerful than your Hua family. It might even be that your Hua family needs help from the other party. If I can't even see this, then there's no need for me to come in person. Everything is right. Everything is right. Hoofing Phoenix was secretly shocked. She gritted her teeth in her heart. But I still don't want Brother Lin to go, because those people are people with great backgrounds. I'm afraid that my father won't believe you if you go. Don't worry. As long as I go, no matter who it is, they will listen to me obediently. Moreover, I feel that today is a good day. There's no need to come another day. Chapter 4063. In the Hua family villa, Hua Tianlin was enthusiastically entertaining Shen Tianquan and Shen Wudi. Without a doubt, Hua Tianlin was very supportive of this marriage alliance. When Shen Tianquan and Shen Wudi arrived, they were already certain that the Hua clan was not as prosperous as it had been in the past. Furthermore, they were well aware of the bloodline curse, even though others might not know about it. If this continued, the Hua family would become an ordinary family in a few decades. No powerful family would allow such a thing to happen. Hence, this marriage alliance was very important. This was also one of the reasons why Shen Tianquan was so sure that he had the Hua family under his thumb. If the Hua family wanted to continue standing in Hang City, they had to accept the Shen family's goodwill. A marriage alliance between the Hua family and the Shen family was also very beneficial. Just the Hua family's bloodline alone would allow his son to become a god-rank powerhouse. When that happened, the power structure of the three great families in the south would change. Up until now, none of the three great families had produced a god-rank powerhouse. Whoever managed to groom a god-rank powerhouse first would be able to unify all the powers in the south. This was the dream of everyone in the three great families in the south. It could be said that everyone was doing their best to groom the next generation. Among this generation, Shen Wudi was the one who called for it the most. Apart from this, the Hua family still had a treasure left behind. Shen Tianquan had secretly bribed someone in the Hua family to find out about it. Hence, apart from the marriage alliance, he also wanted to get his hands on this treasure. As the saying goes, treasures belong to the virtuous. You're a declining Hua family, so what right do you have to hold on to such a good treasure? A treasure like this should fall into the hands of the Hua family and be used to its fullest potential. Brother Hua, we've been talking for so long. Where's your daughter? Don't tell me she's hiding because she's shy? Shen Tianquan teased. Shen Wudi also looked around. He had heard of Hoofing Phoenix. She was a hot-tempered little pepper. In Shen Wudi's eyes, this little temper was nothing. Moreover, a woman with a bit of a temper could only be conquered. Hence, he wanted to take a look at this Hoofing Phoenix. Although he had never seen Hoofing Phoenix's influence in the south was not ordinary. At the mention of this Hoofing Phoenix, Hua Tianlin felt a little uncomfortable, and his expression became a little awkward, because just now he heard his subordinates report that his daughter ran out again. Hua Tianlin regretted that he didn't arrange for someone to watch over his daughter. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in such an awkward situation. Girls are a little shy. I'll arrange for someone to call her over. Hua Tianlin was indeed worthy of being the patriarch. The moment he opened his mouth, he spouted a bunch of lies. Right now, they still needed to satisfy Shen Tianquan and the rest. If they were dissatisfied with their daughter's matter, it would be terrible if their marriage was ruined. Go call the young miss over. How long are you going to make the divine young master wait? This isn't proper at all. Hua Tianlin called his trusted aide over and said with a sunken face. This confidant naturally knew that Miss Hoofing Huang had left the villa, but he still replied seriously, Master, please wait for a moment. I'll go and call Miss back. When the confidant came out of the hall, his face revealed an anxious expression, like an ant on a hot pan. He really didn't know where to go to find the young miss. But this was something that the master had instructed him to do, so he had no choice but to go. He could only pray that the young miss hadn't gone far. Otherwise, it would really be troublesome today. To be able to become the master's trusted aide, he naturally knew how capable the Shen family, one of the 3 great families in the south, was. Young miss, you're really too willful this time. This confidant hurriedly called someone over and prepared to go find Miss Hua. But before he left, he saw Miss Hua coming back with a young man. When this confidant saw this, his heart couldn't help but skip a beat. This was really bad. Young miss, the master is looking for you. In the end, Hufeng Huang still brought Lin Fei to the villa. To be honest, she was quite flustered. She knew her father's temper. Once he was angry, something might happen between the 2 of them. Hufeng Huang didn't know whether she was worried about Lin Fei or her father. Although her father was a master, the strength that Lin Fei displayed seemed to be that of a master as well. This was what Hufeng Huang was most worried about. Moreover, apart from her father, Shin Tianquan from the Shin family in the south was also here today. He was an old fox who was best at scheming. If he also made a move, Hufeng Huang was really worried that Lin Fei would be at a disadvantage. If it was possible, she really didn't want Lin Fei to meet her father and the people from the Shin family, especially at this time. But she couldn't stop Lin Fei from coming. In front of Lin Fei's strength, Hufeng Huang didn't have the strength to stop him at all. She could only bring him over. You don't need to look for him. I'll go over now. By the way, how's my father's mood now? Old master is in a good mood. It's just that he seems a little annoyed that Miss didn't go. The confidant reported honestly. Hufeng Huang wasn't surprised. She knew that it was a marriage alliance today. If she didn't go, her father wouldn't be happy. When she thought about Lin Fei's expression when he came over, she felt that her father's expression would be really good. The old master's confidant was also observing this young man. However, after searching through all the memories in his mind, he couldn't find any information about this person. He couldn't help but be shocked. Miss, where did you find such a man? One could imagine that there might be a huge accident later on. I don't think we need to go in. Someone is coming towards us. Lin Fei suddenly smiled and looked forward. Someone is coming. Hufeng Huang looked forward instinctively. Not long after, she saw a figure walking over. Young Master Shen is here. Young Master Shen is here. Old Master's confidant said softly. Hufeng Huang couldn't help but feel nervous. Brother Lin, are you sure you don't want to wait? Lin Fei smiled even more happily. No need, no need. There's no need at all. Who knows? I might even be acquainted with this person. This must be Miss Hua. It's not a waste for me to come out personally. Shin Wudi saw a fiery red figure from afar. He knew that it was Hufeng Huang, the beloved daughter of the Hu family. She was recognized as the big sister in the southern circle. Old friend, long time no see. Last time, you went to harm Bing Qingya. Now, you're here to harm Hufeng Huang. You really know how to cause trouble. Who's talking nonsense here? Shinwudi walked over quickly. His face darkened as he got angry. He had suffered a lot because of Bing Qingya. Until now, he still hadn't forgotten about it. Therefore, he definitely didn't want anyone to mention Bing Qingya's name again. It's me, your old friend. Chapter 4064. Invincible God was furious. No matter who said that, he was determined to teach them a lesson they would never forget. Who's your old friend? Believe it or not, I'll smash your mouth right now. What a joke. In Hangzhou City, Invincible God did not have many friends. Even if he did, it would be impossible for him to be here. He knew this very well. Even in the Hu clan, there was no one who could be considered a friend. Okay, then come and try. I want to see if you can twitch later. Don't ruin your face when I slap it. Invincible God was a little angry. He raised his head and glared at Lin Fan coldly. Then he strode forward. Young Master God, you misunderstood. This is a misunderstanding. Before Invincible God could make a move, Hoofing Phoenix stood in front of him. She really did not want anything unpleasant to happen. She was even afraid that Lin Fei would get into trouble because of this. Hoofing Phoenix was very worried, but what happened next left her dumbfounded. Invincible God, who was still in a state of rage, suddenly stopped in his tracks. Then, a dry smile appeared on his face. His hand, which was raised in the air, stopped just like that. Hoofing Phoenix saw something in the other party. Indecision. Hoofing Phoenix firmly believed that it was indecision. Come on. Didn't you want to hit me just now? Go ahead. I'll give you a chance now, lest you lose unwillingly. Lin Fei smiled faintly. The more he said that, the more awkward Invincible God's expression became. He never expected that the person who came with Hoofing Phoenix would be Lin Fei. The person he hated the most was the one who made him clench his teeth helplessly. Every time he saw this guy, Invincible God felt that nothing good was going to happen. Invincible God's mind was on Hoofing Phoenix just now, so he naturally ignored everything else around him. He never expected that Lin Fei would be here. Isn't he in Donghai? What is this called? Invincible God really wanted to fight, but he knew that he was no match for Yi Futian with his strength, unless he stepped into the immortal level. If you win, I'll leave. Invincible God retracted his hand and turned to leave. He wanted to tell his father that Lin Fei had come. No matter what reason Lin Fei had, he was definitely related to the Hu clan. Perhaps he had come for the bloodline. If that was the case, then this matter would have to be considered at length. Since you're here, why are you in such a hurry to leave? Let's have a good talk. Who wants to talk to you? Invincible God thought to himself. But just as he took a few steps forward, an explosion rang out beside his ear. His entire body shook. Sigh, I seem to have missed it just now, but I promise I won't miss it next time. You can test my accuracy. It turned out that Lin Fei had casually flicked out a stream of power that brushed past Invincible God's face. Even if it was just a casual flick, it was not something that Invincible God could withstand. He was scared half to death. Amidst that power, he smelled the scent of death, and his entire body felt uneasy. Lin Fei, don't go too far. Don't think that the Shen clan is afraid of you. Invincible God turned around and gritted his teeth. But no matter how he said it, it sounded empty and lacking in confidence. Oh, so the Shen clan is very strong. Then come at me. If you don't, then I'll just stand still. Haven't you heard of this saying? If you're taking a beating, stand still. Believe it or not, I'll send you flying with a kick and make you bedridden for 1.5 years. Invincible God immediately lost his temper and did not dare to speak any more. He had seen Lin Fei's strength before. If he really gave it his all, he might really be bedridden for 2 to 3 years, let alone half a year. For Invincible God, who was in the prime of his youth, this was not something he wanted to see. Don't hit me. Let's talk this out. Invincible God's tone softened, and he sounded like he was begging for mercy. Fire Phoenix was stunned by what she saw. She knew that Invincible God was an arrogant and despotic person. He thought that he was the pride of the heavens and never took anyone seriously. But now he was behaving in front of Lin Fei. Fire Phoenix could not believe what she was seeing. Was this still the son of the Shin clan, one of the 3 clans in the south? He was no different from a coward now. When Hoofing Phoenix sneaked a peek at Lin Fei, her eyes were filled with confusion and even a hint of admiration. Not everyone could make Invincible God stand still. Look at how cowardly you are. What are you doing here instead of staying at home? I really want to know. Do you want to hit on Hoofing Phoenix again? Or do you guys have ulterior motives towards the Hu clan? Be honest with me so I can know. Lin Fei was surprised to see Invincible God here. But when he thought about the Hu clan's bloodline, he knew that Invincible God must have ulterior motives for coming to the Hu clan. The Shun clan, one of the 3 clans in the south, definitely knew more than Lin Fei. So, Lin Fei did not mind finding out more about the Hu clan from Invincible God, who asked Invincible God to come here of his own accord. If he did not get to the bottom of this, it would be a shame. Invincible God immediately felt a headache coming on. If it was anyone else, he would not have been able to force him to speak. But with Lin Fei, he had no confidence at all. Invincible God really wanted to say that he would never say anything and that Lin Fei had no right to listen. But Invincible God could not say something like that. He was sure that if he really said something like that, Lin Fei would send him flying with a kick. Even if his physique was stronger, he would not be able to withstand a kick from Lin Fei. He had experienced it firsthand. Of course, you don't have to say anything. It doesn't matter to me anyway, Lin Fei said with a smile. You just have to let me kick you 3 times. Kick him 3 times? Invincible God felt his hair stand on end. That one kick had nearly taken his life. If 3 kicks were to follow, he would definitely be dead. I'll only give you 3 seconds to think about it. If you can escape from me, I'll consider you impressive. Lin Fei smiled and raised a finger. 1. Invincible God's body began to tremble. Things had been going well, but he had run into Lin Fei. He did not know what to do at that moment. 2. Lin Fei raised 2 fingers. Every number gave Invincible God immense pressure. He had never felt so pressured before. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. Don't kick me. Invincible God's mentality was still problematic. After all, it was not the first time he had suffered at the hands of Lin Fei. There was a crack in his mentality. We're here for Miss Hua's bloodline and the treasure left behind by the Hu clan. As long as our Shen clan obtains this treasure, our Shen clan will have an immortal realm expert. Hoofing Phoenix was enraged as well. What a Shen clan to have such intentions. Where did you get this information from? We got it from the Dark Ruins. Chapter 4065. Invincible God did not dare to hide anything. He told Lin Fei everything. He just wanted to stay as far away from Lin Fei as possible. Nothing good ever happened when he saw Lin Fei. Invincible God did not even dare to spy on Hoofing Phoenix's family bloodline. It was not something he could spy on. Lin Fei just had to show up at this time. He would not dare to do that even if he had 100 guts. You guys went to the Void Land. Hoofing Phoenix was shocked. Lin Fei, on the other hand, was confused. He had never heard of the illusory Land before. However, he could tell that the illusory Land was not an ordinary place. It might even be similar to the blessed land of Paradise or Arcana Land. Didn't I say that the Void Land is untraceable? How did you guys find the Void Land and know about the Hoof family bloodline from there? Hoofing Phoenix was usually carefree, but now she realized how serious the problem was. Previously, Hoofing Phoenix had thought that they came to the Hoof family for a marriage alliance. Now it seemed that it was not just a simple marriage alliance. They were spying on everything about the Hoof family. Invincible God shook his head. I don't know how to get in. Anyway, my father told me that. If you want to know, ask my father. At this moment, Invincible God had betrayed his father. After all, he didn't know anything about this. All right, you can leave now. Lin Fei swung his arm, and Invincible God flew out and fell on the ground. Invincible God did not dare to make a sound when he got up. He ran towards the hall. Brother Lin, why did you let him go? He might have gone to find someone. Hoofing Phoenix stomped her feet in anger. Lin Fei smiled and shook his head. Even if he went to find someone, it would be useless. By the way, what is this Void Land? This place sounds quite different to me. Hoofing Phoenix said, I've only heard about the Void Land from my father. It's said that it's a special secret space. No one knows where it is, but there are many treasures in the Void Land. I've even heard that some powerful people have come out of the Void Land. To put it simply, the most famous Ruin Land in our country is Kunlun. Although everyone knows where Kunlun is, this is only on the surface. The real core is the Void Land. That is where the real Kunlun is. It is said that 50 years ago, an expert emerged from the ruins of Kunlun. He defeated all kinds of experts along the way. In the end, he even accepted a disciple, and this disciple is Yi Xian, the current #1 god of war in our country. As Fire Phoenix spoke, her eyes were filled with admiration. With such a simple explanation, Lin Fei understood that the Yin ruins were not much different from a mystic realm. At the same time, I became interested in this Yin illusory land and kept it in mind. Let's go in and take a look. Who knows? Invincible gods, Father might know more. Actually, even if Lin Fei had not mentioned it, Hoofing Phoenix would have gone in and told her father. This was because the Shen family was too shameless. They actually came with such an idea. If Invincible God had not taken the initiative to say it, the Hoof family might have been devoured by the Shin family after some time. This was not what Hoofing Phoenix wanted to see. Coming from a martial arts family, Hoofing Phoenix more or less knew some mysterious things. She did not doubt this at all. In the hall, Hua Tianlin and Shin Tianquan were chatting and laughing as if they were old friends. As Invincible God entered in a fluster, the atmosphere was broken. Dad, let's go. That ** is here. Seeing Invincible God's sorry state, Hua Tianlin frowned and stood up. What happened? Did someone from the Hua family do something to you? Tell me the name, and I'll teach them a lesson. Although that was what he said, he was extremely shocked. He knew that no one in the younger generation of the Hua family was a match for Invincible God. Even a grandmaster might not be able to defeat him. But now, Invincible God looked like he had been bullied. This was hard for Hua Tianlin to imagine. Perhaps someone had barged in. Moreover, Invincible God did not have any advantage over the other party. That was why he had rushed back. If that was the case, then, as the owner of this place, Hua Tianlin had to make a move. He had to let the other party know that this was the Hua family, not some ordinary place. Not everyone could cause trouble as they pleased. The Hua family could not afford to lose face. Shen Tianquan was in a good mood. He could already tell that Hua Tianlin of the Hua family was indeed planning to have a marriage alliance, and his attitude was very proper. However, when he heard his son's words, he frowned. Who's here? Look at you, aren't you ashamed? You're a grandmaster after all. Shen Tianquan naturally did not expect Lin Fei to be here. Invincible God became even more anxious. Dad, Lin Fei is here. What do you think we should do? This time, Shin Tianquan heard it clearly. His face darkened and the smile on his face froze. He sat up from the sofa as if he had been stabbed by a needle. What did you say? Lin Fei is here? Isn't he in the East Sea? Why is he here in Hangzhou? Are you sure you're not mistaken? Invincible God smiled bitterly. Look at me now and you'll know. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in such a sorry state. You know that among the younger generation, I don't really care about anyone. But Lin Fei is one of them. Hua Tianlin was confused. This name was very unfamiliar to him. He did not know why he had heard it before, but he could not recall where. Brother Shin, isn't it just Lin Fei? What's there to be afraid of? I'll take care of them for you. Yes. Lin Fei should be taken care of. I'll have to trouble you then, Brother Hua. Shin Tianquan's mind spun quickly. Now that Lin Fei had come here, he definitely had a motive. If Lin Fei and the Hua family were to go against each other, at least they wouldn't have to worry about the two of them getting together. Dad, I'm back. I want to talk to you about something. Just as Shen Tianquan finished speaking, Hoofing Phoenix and Lin Fei walked in from the entrance of the hall. When Shen Tianquan and Invincible God saw Lin Fei, they both took a step back. They were really afraid of this guy. Hua Tianlin's expression was strange. Phoenix, who allowed you to bring a man in? Why aren't you letting him leave? Hua Tianlin had planned on a marriage alliance, but when he saw this scene, his heart was about to explode, especially in front of the family head. How was he going to resolve this? Chapter 4066. Father, listen to my explanation. He's my friend and an expert. If you want me to form a marriage alliance with the Shen clan, You can go and ask them what their motives are. They want to use your daughter as a human cauldron to strive for the divine level. Hoofing Phoenix didn't have any fear this time. She pointed at Shinwudi and said angrily, "If you don't believe me, ask them and see what they say." Being pointed at, Invincible God immediately lowered his head, losing all confidence. After all, he had already explained everything clearly. It would be difficult for him to argue back now. Furthermore, there was still Lin Fei standing there. Even if he had the guts to argue back, he wouldn't have dared to argue back. He felt wrong, truly wronged. Hua Tianlin really wanted to marry into the Shun family. After all, the Shin family was the one who brought it up. To the Hua family, it was a great honor. The Shun family was one of the 3 great families in the south. Their influence was much greater than the Hua family. If they could marry into the Shun family, the Hua family would benefit greatly. However, this didn't mean that Hua Tianlin would let his daughter fall into the fire pit. When he heard his daughter's words, his face darkened, revealing a trace of displeasure and even a trace of confusion. This was a secret that only the Hua family's leaders knew. How did the Shen family know about it? "Phoenix, what you said is true." Hoofing Phoenix nodded. "It's true. Young Master Shen said it himself." "Nonsense. Our Shen family Wudi really admires Miss Hua. He definitely didn't come for the Hua family bloodline. Someone must be talking nonsense." Shen Tianquan snorted. If he admitted it, he would fail. Hence, he wouldn't admit it even if he was beaten to death. Hua Tianlin trusted his daughter's words. Although she was careless, she wouldn't say anything about this. "Young Master Shin, it's better if you explain yourself. Who's talking nonsense?" Hua Tianlin's eyes shone coldly as he stared at Shinwudi. If this had been anywhere else, Invincible God would have definitely spouted nonsense. However, with Lin Fei around, he really did not dare to spout nonsense. If the other party were to give him another kick, he might just end up being sent flying. "Shinwudi, didn't you just say it honestly? Why are you scared now? Or do you think that with your father backing you up, everything will be different? You can give it a try. Let's see if my next kick will land on you," Lin Fei said with a chuckle. "Young Master Lin, do you think it's fun to play tricks on the Shen family?" Shen Tianquan's expression changed as well. Just like his son, he didn't want to see Lin Fei appear. This guy was full of secrets, and they hadn't been able to find out anything about him. It was as though he had appeared out of thin air. People like that were the hardest to deal with. This kid seems to have some background. Hua Tianlin also heard Shen Tianquan's words. His mind raced, and suddenly his body trembled. He finally remembered where he had heard this name before. Could this brat be the Lin Fei of the Soaring Dragon Manor, who caused the Shin family to suffer a loss? If it's really him, he's too young. Also, how did our daughter get to know him? Thoughts after thoughts appeared in Hua Tianlin's mind. Recently, the martial arts circle was still quite lively, especially in the martial arts circle of Donghai, where a big dark horse had risen. This dark horse had dominated a blessed enclave in a short time, and he had 9 supreme power experts under his command. He had become the #1 force in Donghai, but the origin of such a person was very mysterious. Until now, no one knew the specific origin of such a person. When Hua Tianlin first heard this name, he was secretly shocked. The first thing he suspected was the Lin family in Yanjin, because only the Lin family could cultivate such a genius. However, the martial arts circle later denied this matter. Hua Tianlin couldn't figure it out. Now that he saw Lin Fei again, he sensed a familiar aura from him. Could it be that the information was wrong? Say that again if you dare. Who do you think I, Lin Fei, am? Do you think it's fun to play tricks on you? For people like you, I can't wait to slap them to death. However, this is a society governed by law. Fighting and killing isn't good at all. That's why you're still alive and breathing fresh air. Don't you think I'm right? Lin Fei said with a smile. Shin Tianquan was infuriated. He knew that today's matter had been completely ruined. It would be even more difficult for him to form a marriage alliance with the Hu family. Young Master Lin, you're amazing. Our Shin family will leave now. Shin Tianquan forced himself to calm down. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to control himself and would attack. Maybe the other party was waiting for him to attack. This guy was also a little fox. He wasn't easy to deal with. He didn't believe that Lin Fei came here for the Hu family. It would be a lie if he didn't have a purpose. You haven't explained yourself clearly. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? You have to let the Hu family know your purpose. Otherwise, he will think that I'm bullying you. Lin Fei took a step forward and stood in front of the gate. If they wanted to leave, they had to pass by Lin Fei. As long as Lin Fei didn't agree, no one would be able to leave. What Tianlin said, since he said so, you should at least give me an explanation. Although my daughter can marry your Shin family, she is definitely not someone that your Shin family can use as a cauldron. You should remember this clearly. So right now, you should give me an explanation, lest I have doubts in my heart. No matter what your final explanation is, I will not do anything to you. After all, you are guests. I understand this principle. Although Hu Tianlin didn't know their purpose from their mouths, he knew that they were close to the truth. This made him very angry. If Hu Tianlin wanted to deal with them, it wouldn't be easy. Shin Tianquan's strength was on par with him. Moreover, Shin Tianquan had a treasure. If they really fought, they would only have a 50% chance of winning. At that time, neither of them would have a good ending. There's no need to explain. Everything is, as your daughter said. That should be enough. Our Shun family can't afford to be related to you, so we can only take our leave. Young Master Lin, are you satisfied with this explanation? Shen Tianquan's expression was cold. Lin Fei laughed heartily. It's barely passable. Remember, the next time you try to scheme against someone, you have to find out more. Otherwise, if you encounter such a thing again, you won't even have a place to cry. Chapter 4067. Shen Tianquan and Shen Wudi wanted to leave this place immediately. They didn't want to stay a minute longer. However, Lin Fei didn't let them leave. He stood at the door without moving. How could he let them leave so easily? Hold on. You still have something you haven't explained. You can leave only after you've explained everything. Shin Tianquan's face twitched. He didn't know what Lin Fei wanted to know. Didn't I say it clearly just now? What else do you want to know? Lin Fei unhurriedly said, You only explained things to Patriarch Hua, but you didn't explain it to me. I'm very interested in the dark ruin land, so tell me about it. Remember, I want to hear the truth, not lies. Of course, you can also try and see what will happen to you if you lie in front of me. Lin Fei took a step forward. There was a loud rumble, and an invisible pressure pressed down on Shin Tianquan and Shin Wudi. Thud, thud, thud. Thud, 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 thud. Shin Tianquan and Shin Wudi kept retreating. Every time they retreated, they would leave a footprint on the ground. The impact alone was enough to make their blood boil. They almost vomited blood. Hua Tianlin, who was standing not far away, could still feel the terrifying pressure even though he wasn't facing it head-on. He didn't doubt that the pressure alone was enough to suppress a Grandmaster Realm expert to the point that he couldn't move even if he didn't do anything. In fact, Hu Tianlin had guessed correctly. With Lin Fei's immortal body, he could easily crush a Grandmaster to the ground, rendering them unable to move. Hu Tianlin knew that a powerful guy had appeared in Donghai, but he didn't think that his pressure alone would be so terrifying. Hu Tianlin felt like he was getting old. He was really the younger generation now. However, his attention was quickly drawn to the Yin ruins that Shin Tianquan had mentioned. As one of the top clans in Hang City, they naturally knew many secrets that others didn't, including the Yin ruins. However, he had never expected that Shin Tianquan would actually find the Yin ruins, enter it, and find out about the bloodline. He was even able to implicate the Hu clan. This caused his expression to turn ugly. If it wasn't for Lin Fei, he would have been deceived. No one knew better than him that after becoming a human cauldron, one would be completely crippled. At that time, Hu Tianlin would definitely be filled with guilt because he was the one who proposed the marriage. Shen Tianquan didn't dare to hide anything anymore. Although they had fought before, it wasn't as terrifying as this time. It was enough to make him unable to even think of resisting. He probably only had less than 10% of his strength left. Hence, he explained everything that had happened in the Dark Ruins in detail. You said that the Dark Ruin Land is 100 kilometers away from Hangzhou. Lin Fei frowned and suddenly remembered what had happened before. It was Chief Shue's invitation. It was said that the Moon Spirit Stone was more than 100 kilometers away from Hangzhou. Could it be that the two were in the same place? Lin Fei's memory was very good. He didn't think that he had heard wrongly. It was very likely that the two places were in the same place. Young Master Lin, I don't dare to lie to you. The Dark Ruin Land is indeed more than 100 kilometers away from Hangzhou City. I only entered that place after hearing the news from someone else. However, the Dark Ruin Land is very dangerous. I only came out after obtaining some things and didn't dare to hesitate. Lin Fei asked a few more questions. After confirming that the other party wasn't lying, he let Shen Tianquan and Shen Wudi leave. The person who was the most shocked was Hoofing Phoenix. She had never thought that Lin Fei, whom she had met once on the mountain, would be so powerful. Even the two masters of the Shen family couldn't resist him at all. Moreover, he was so young. His thoughts were also constantly changing. He had thought that the geniuses he had seen before were the true geniuses, but compared to Lin Fei, they were nothing. This was a true monstrous genius who could suppress a grandmaster powerhouse with just a wave of his hand. I thank young Master Lin on behalf of Phoenix. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what would have happened to my daughter. I wouldn't even have a place to cry, Hu Tianlin said gratefully with his fists cupped. He was grateful from the bottom of his heart. After all, the other party had bad intentions. In the end, the Hu family and his daughter, Hoofing Phoenix, would be the ones to suffer. Lin Fei smiled and said, "It's fate that we met. Since we met, I have to help. Moreover, I don't like those guys from the Shin family." Just as Lin Fei said, it was a coincidence. Otherwise, Lin Fei wouldn't have known about this. He also wouldn't have known that there was Yin ruins in the suburbs of Hangzhou. From these few words, Hu Tianlin could tell that although Lin Fei was a proud son of heaven and his strength was unfathomable, his character was much better than invincible gods. At the very least, he didn't put on an air of superiority. He was just like an ordinary person. If he hadn't suppressed a grandmaster just now, no one would have believed that he was a warrior. Because Lin Fei didn't have a trace of a martial artist's aura. He was just too ordinary. Lin Fei, no matter what, I still have to thank you. It's just that I'm afraid that Shen Tianquan and his son are up to no good now that they've left. After all, the Yin Ruins is an extremely mysterious place. Once the news spreads, who knows how many martial artists will flock there. Moreover, I've also heard that there's a long wait to enter the Yin Ruins. It's not something that can be entered at any time. This is just a small matter. Since it's the Yin Ruins, it will be exposed sooner or later. Even if he doesn't say it, others will know. There's no need to make a fuss, Lin Fei said with a smile. Phoenix, invite young Master Lin to sit down and drink some tea. Go to the study and bring me the top grade by Luo Chun. Hu Tianlin invited Lin Fei to sit down. Hoofing Phoenix smiled as she ran to the study and brought out the Bai Luo Chun. Then she personally brewed the tea. Her movements were as smooth as flowing water. It could be seen that Hoofing Phoenix was not only good at martial arts, she was also very good at the tea ceremony. During this time, Hoofing Phoenix and her father also talked about her bloodline. Hu Tianlin was glad that he didn't take action. Otherwise, it would be hard to say what would have happened. Young Master Lin, I heard that you are very knowledgeable about bloodlines. I wonder if you have a way to solve my daughter's problem? As a father, Hu Tianlin was most worried about his daughter's bloodline. After all, the family's bloodline curse had been passed down. He didn't want to see his daughter die before him. Now that he knew that Lin Fei had a way to solve it, he had to ask Lin Fei for help no matter what, even if he had to pay a big price. Chapter 4068. After leaving the villa, Shen Tianquan and Shan Wudi sat in the car sullenly. Once again, they felt a deep sense of helplessness and sullenness. They had encountered him once in the East Sea and suffered a huge loss. Now, they suffered another huge loss in Hangzhou. They were one of the 3 major families in the south, the Shen family. When had they ever suffered such a huge loss? Every time, they could only watch helplessly and couldn't take revenge. Lin Fei's strength was truly unfathomable. They were both evolved Jing masters. One was a new evolved Jing master, while the other was an old evolved Jing master. In the end, they couldn't resist Lin Fei's pressure at all. Dad, can we really only lower our heads like this? But I really can't accept it. We are one of the 3 major families in the south. When did a brat step all over us? Shanwudi's eyes were filled with hatred. A loud bang was heard. What Shanwudi didn't expect was that his father would slap him in the face. Brat, isn't this all because of you? Even now, you still haven't thought it through. This brat is very likely to be a God-ranked expert. You are going against a God-ranked expert. You want to drag the Shen family down with you, don't you? Shen Tianquan was much more farsighted than Shinwudi. To be able to easily suppress them with pressure, who else could it be other than a God-ranked expert? The probability was more than 90%. Even if it was 70% or 80%, Shen Tianquan knew that he definitely couldn't make Lin Fei an enemy. Remember, in the future, when you see Lin Fei, you must either be polite or turn around and leave. Don't offend him anymore. Right now, the Shen family can't afford to offend Lin Fei. Unless one day, our Shen family can also give birth to a deity rank expert. Otherwise, we can only be a well-behaved turtle. When Shen Tianquan said this, he seemed very helpless. However, there was no other way. Everyone knew that Lin Fei was stronger than them. Just his pressure alone was enough to cause them to be in such a state. Even a pig's brain would know what was going on. Shinwudi opened his mouth. In the end, he fell silent. He knew that his father was right. To be able to cause them to be in such a sorry state, other than a God-ranked expert, who else could it be? A God-ranked expert could easily deal with any top-tier faction, unless that faction had a God-ranked expert overseeing it. In any case, we'll just sit back and watch the show. Once news of the sinister ruins comes out, it will definitely attract the attention of all the experts in the country. Who knows? A divine-level expert might even appear one day. If you insist on being so high-profile, you'll be going against everyone. We have plenty of time to wait. Although Shen Tianquan had lowered his head, he was very clear about the current situation. Dad, are you saying that a tall tree attracts the wind? If that's the case, I'll need to arrange for someone to spread the news about him and make him look good. Maybe one day, the first god of war, Yi Xian, will find trouble with him. Suddenly, Shinwudi's eyes lit up. Pa! Shen Tianquan slapped Undefeatable God in the face again, and half of Undefeatable God's body slammed into the glass. The sturdy, bulletproof glass cracked, and it was a shocking sight. How many times have I told you? We won't get involved in anything. Don't tell me you want Yi Xian to look for the Shen family? Could it be that when the time comes, you'll be the one to defend? Or do you want me to stop him? Shen Tianquan was furious. Only then did Undefeatable God realize that he had said something wrong. Dad, I know I was wrong. You're the best. Let's just wait and see. We won't get involved in anything. If I see him in the future, I'll stay far away from him. Undefeatable God nodded tactfully. He wasn't an idiot. Naturally, he knew very well that offending Lin Fei wouldn't end well. He wouldn't refute his father's words. It was because his father's words made sense. They just needed to wait and see. If he really went to make arrangements and spread the news of the sinister ruins, the Shen family would still be the unlucky ones. In the hall, Hua Tianlin and Hua Feng's ears perked up. Hua Tianlin was especially concerned about this matter more than anyone else. After all, this concerned the life and death of his daughter. In order to solve the problem of the Hua family's bloodline curse, Hua Tianlin had spent a lot of time and effort on this matter. However, he hadn't achieved anything yet. Now he could only place this slim hope on Lin Fei. Perhaps there would be an answer. It's actually not that difficult to get rid of the bloodline curse. The curse on Huifeng's body is especially easy. Lin Fei said calmly, "The reason why the Hua family's bloodline is cursed is because the power of the cursed bloodline will keep accumulating. However, you won't release it. Once the power reaches a critical point, it will erupt instantly. No one can resist it. That's why the curse happened." Huifeng's spirit was suddenly lifted. Doesn't that mean that as long as we release the power, the bloodline curse will be broken? Hua Tianlin frowned. He knew better than anyone that this wasn't a small matter. If this power could really be released, then the Hua family wouldn't have so many casualties. They knew this better than anyone else. Hua Tianlin didn't continue to ask. He believed that Lin Fei would definitely give an explanation. "You're right. As long as we release the power, then everything will no longer be a problem. For example, with the help of this power, you can instantly break through to the Master Realm. Moreover, your potential is greater than anyone else's." Huifeng's eyes blinked. She didn't dare to believe it. "Is this true? I can break through to the Master Realm." Although Huifeng's phoenix had the potential to break through to the Master Realm, it would take at least 2 or 3 years. It might even take longer. "I never lie. If I say that you can become a master, then you will definitely become a master. As for releasing the bloodline, it's actually even simpler. All you need is a suitable fire attribute technique. I think that the Hua family should have a fire attribute technique that has been passed down for generations. However, this technique should have some flaws. That's why you haven't been able to cultivate this technique to perfection and release the power of the bloodline. Am I right?" Hua Tianlin's entire body trembled. "Young Master Lin, you're right. The situation is like this. Our Hua family has indeed lost the most important part of our technique. That's why our strength has been stagnant all these years. Moreover, the bloodline curse has caused our Hua family to lose a lot of disciples. I hope that young Master Lin can help us solve this problem. As long as young Master Lin can help us, no matter what you ask of us, our Hua family will agree." Hua Tianlin trusted Lin Fei more than ever. This was because he could see the determination in Lin Fei's eyes. It was enough to prove that he really knew that their fire attribute technique had flaws. "You're the one who said it. Helping your Hua clan perfect your cultivation method is not a problem. I only want the treasure left behind by your Hua clan. It's that simple. Because this treasure has no effect on you, I'm only interested in it." Chapter 4069. P.S. Thank you, City, Lord Nan, and Monopolizing the Mountains for your tips. Forgive me for not reading the reviews. When Lin Fei stated his request, Hua Tianlin's expression didn't change much. In fact, he had expected this to happen after Shen Tianquan and the others left. However, Hua Tianlin's expression was somewhat unnatural. "Young Master Lin, are you sure you want our Hua clan's treasure? I'm afraid you'll regret it when you see it. Our Hua clan doesn't want you to misunderstand and think that we're lying to you." Only Hua Tianlin knew what the Hua clan's treasure was. If he offended Lin Fei because of the treasure, it wasn't something he wanted to see. After all, the lives of the Hua clan's descendants were in Lin Fei's hands. It would be hard for Hua Tianlin not to be careful. Lin Fei also sensed something. Obviously, the Hua clan's treasure was different from what he had imagined. To Lin Fei, the treasure wasn't that important. He just wanted to see what the Hua clan's ancestors' treasure was. That was what Lin Fei wanted to know. As for helping the Hua clan for free, that was impossible. Normally, a perfected cultivation technique could be passed down for hundreds of years. This would be beneficial to the Hua clan. Therefore, for the sake of fairness, Lin Fei had to take something. The only thing that interested him was the Hua clan's treasure. Actually, you don't have to worry about anything. I only want the Hua clan's treasure. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's ordinary, it has nothing to do with you. Lin Fei said casually, You can take out your Hua clan's cultivation technique now. I'll help you perfect it first. Perfect it now? Hua Tianlin was surprised. After all, the Hua clan's treasure hadn't been taken out yet. He didn't expect that Lin Fei would be the first to suggest perfecting it. What? You don't want it? I'll get it right away. How could Hua Tianlin not be happy? Ever since he became the head of the family, the pressure he felt was greater than anyone else. Because the Hua clan was getting weaker and weaker with each generation, the patriarchs of each generation hoped to push the Hua clan back to its peak. Unfortunately, this dream had always been out of reach. Now, it was finally being carried forward by Hua Tianlin. That was happier than anything else. Hoofing Phoenix was also a little excited. She finally saw hope, a beautiful wish to continue living. Not long after, Hua Tianlin returned with a wooden box in his hand. The wooden box was made of red sandalwood. It had an antique feel to it. He carefully opened it and took out a yellowed book. After looking at this yellowed manual, Lin Fei knew why the Hua family's cultivation technique had been left out. It was because the last few pages of this manual were missing. Young Master Lin, I've let you see a joke. This is our Hua family's fire art, 13 layers of heavenly flames. Unfortunately, only 9 layers remain. The last 4 layers are gone. Hua Tianlin said in shame. Find me a quiet room. I will help you deduce the next part of the cultivation method. No problem, no problem. I will arrange it immediately. Lin Fei took the yellowed manual and walked into a room. Hua Tianlin and Hoofing Phoenix were waiting outside. Dad, do you think he can really complete the last 4 layers? Hoofing Phoenix asked with joy and worry. Hua Tianlin didn't dare to guarantee it, but subconsciously he believed that Lin Fei could do it. We just need to believe in young Master Lin. Weren't you very confident in him before? Could it be that you are afraid now? I'm afraid that the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Sitting in the room, Lin Fei flipped through the secret manual. Not to mention, the 13 layers of heavenly flames were really not low level. If the last 4 layers were not lost, the Hua family would definitely have a few more Xiantian experts, because this was a cultivation technique that could be cultivated to the Xiantian realm. In the eyes of outsiders, it might be very amazing, but in Lin Fei's eyes, it was no different from a common product. And to make up for the last 4 layers of the cultivation method, it was not difficult at all for Lin Fei. In less than 5 minutes, it was completely perfected. After making up for it, Lin Fei was bored, so he deduced the next few layers. In total, he deduced up to the 18 layers of heavenly flames, which could be cultivated to the next realm. To be able to deduce the cultivation method so easily, only Lin Fei could do the rest easily. After sitting in the room for half an hour, Lin Fei walked out and returned the secret manual to Hua Tianlin. Take a look yourself, right? Hua Tianlin held the yellowed secret manual in his hands, and his breathing quickened. He quickly opened it. Hua Tianlin had already cultivated to the 9th layer of the 13 layers of heavenly flames, and had been stuck at this level. When he saw the 10th layer, his eyes lit up and his breathing quickened. Oh my God, yes, this is it. This is the 13 layers of heavenly flames. No one knew better than him about the latter part of the cultivation method. When he saw the mental cultivation method, he was sure that it was real. Lin Fei had really managed to create the last 4 levels. When Hua Tianlin continued to read, his whole body trembled in fear. He thought that it was amazing to be able to deduce up to the 13th layer, but he never thought that Lin Fei would actually go all the way to the 18th layer. What an unbelievable level! Hua Tianlin immediately realized that with the 18 layers of heavenly flames, the Hua family was going to rise again. Even he had a certain degree of confidence in breaking through to the God realm. This was something he didn't even dare to think about in the past. Young Master Lin, I thank you on behalf of the entire Hua family. If it wasn't for you, our Hua family would have become an ordinary family sooner or later, and we wouldn't even be able to keep this cultivation method. Hua Tianlin took a deep breath and lowered his head to express his gratitude to Lin Fei. This time, it was from the bottom of his heart. He had never thought that a young man could be so amazing, able to deduce all 9 layers of cultivation methods in one go. Even Hoofing Phoenix, who was standing at the side, could feel the change. She knew that Lin Fei must have deduced the cultivation method, which meant that she could really live. Thank you, Lin Fei. Hoofing Phoenix had been suppressed for too long, and she never dared to imagine that she could live forever. She couldn't help but kiss Lin Fei's face. It seemed that this was the only way for her to completely believe that everything was real. After being kissed for no reason, Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. To be honest, he had just done something casual, and it wasn't anything complicated. But he didn't expect that he would gain such a reward. I've helped you solve the problem of your Hua family's cultivation method. Now, can you bring us to see your Hua family's treasures? Chapter 4070. The place where the Hua family's treasure was stored was beyond Lin Fei's expectation. It was actually hidden deep underground. It was a secret room. Moreover, there were many traps outside the secret room. Even if a Grandmaster expert came in, he would suffer a great loss if he was not careful. If he was unlucky, he might even lose his life. Finally, they arrived in front of a large metal door. This metal door was made of reinforced iron plates. It was at least 10 centimeters thick. The solemn black color gave people a great visual impact. Hua Tianlin looked a little uncomfortable. Young Master Lin, I'm sorry to let you see this. This treasure is really not ordinary, so we can only use this method to preserve it. The more it was arranged like this, the more interested Lin Fei became. Something that could be guarded like this must be very interesting. Hua Tianlin's face showed a trace of a smile. I'm afraid that young Master Lin will be disappointed when he sees it. A fingerprint lock appeared on the metal door. After Hua Tianlin operated it for a while, the heavy door slowly opened. Young Master Lin, please come in. Lin Fei was the first to enter the secret room. He glanced around. The secret room was not very big. At most, it was the size of a few square meters. However, the most eye-catching thing was that there was actually a fiery red egg in the middle of the room. The egg was about the size of an ostrich's egg. It was placed on a shelf. Other than that, there was nothing else in the secret room. Young Master Lin, this is the treasure of our Hua family. It has been passed down from generation to generation. Until now, we still don't know what it is. We've tried to hatch it, but it didn't work. That's why it's been here all this time. Hua Tianlin said awkwardly, That's right. Everyone knew that the Hua family had a treasure, but who would have thought that it was actually an egg? After seeing the egg, Lin Fei was actually a little surprised. He had more or less underestimated his imagination. Who would have thought that the Hua family's treasure was actually an egg? When Lin Fei carefully examined the egg, his eyebrows jumped. He actually discovered a trace of life force within the egg. However, this trace of life force was very weak. Only someone like him could detect it. Lin Fei's eyebrows twitched. Is this the Nirvana Hoofing Phoenix? Or is this the egg that Hoofing Phoenix gave birth before it died? Lin Fei had seen the 4 great sacred beasts before, but he had never encountered such a situation. And now, a Hoofing Phoenix's egg was placed right in front of him. Moreover, it was still alive. Lin Fei couldn't help but feel excited. A Hoofing Phoenix's egg was more valuable than anything else. Moreover, this Hoofing Phoenix's egg actually had a trace of life. This was the most important thing. If Lin Fei hadn't come here, then this hoofing phoenix's egg would have been completely destroyed. This was because the trace of life was very weak. It could only be said that the hoofing phoenix's egg was constantly consuming its life force. Unfortunately, no one was able to hatch it. Once it hatched, it would be a sacred beast. Young Master Lin, if you don't like this treasure, you can ask for anything you want. Our Hoof family will definitely do our best. Even if we have to go bankrupt, we will still get you. Hua Tianlin saw that Lin Fei wasn't saying anything, so he thought that the other party was angry. This hoofing phoenix's egg was indeed priceless. However, in the eyes of knowledgeable people, it was just a dead egg. It was completely impossible for it to hatch. If it could hatch, then the current Hua family wouldn't be like this. Lin Fei waved his hand and said, "There's no need to say any more. I want this egg. Moreover, you don't need to worry about anything. Since it's the Hua family's treasure, then there's naturally a reason for it to stay. I don't mind." Lin Fei thought that the hoofing phoenix's egg only had a trace of life force. However, for Lin Fei, if he handled it properly, then it might really hatch into a phoenix. As a member of the 4 sacred beasts, although it was on the same level as the vermilion bird, it was even more amazing. Therefore, Lin Fei was really looking forward to the birth of a phoenix. Even if it was a vermilion bird, it wouldn't matter much. Lin Fei definitely wouldn't miss such a chance. Otherwise, he wouldn't know when he would encounter such a thing again. "Young Master Lin, this egg is just a dead egg. Why don't you change your condition?" Hua Tianlin was worried that Lin Fei would get angry. After all, this dead egg was basically useless. If it wasn't for the fact that the Hua family had passed it down, Hua Tianlin would have opened it to take a look. "There's no need. I, Lin Fei, mean what I say. Since I want your Hua family's treasure, even if it's useless, I will still take it. You don't need to say anything else." Lin Fei said indifferently. He waved his hand, and the hoofing phoenix's egg was instantly stored away. This is a storage ring. Hua Tianlin's eyes widened as he looked at the disappearing hoofing phoenix's egg. His heart shook. He actually saw a storage ring. This was something that only cultivators could have. Hua family head has good eyesight. This is indeed a storage ring. Lin Fei said with a smile, "Now that I've taken it, this matter is settled. As for the 18 layers of heavenly flame, you just need to cultivate well. I believe that with Hua family head and Miss Hua's talent, you will soon make a breakthrough." Hua Tianlin was overwhelmed by the favor. He finally knew that Lin Fei was more mysterious than he had imagined. He even had a storage ring. This was something that only appeared in legends. Since Lin Fei had said so, Hua Tianlin didn't dare to say anything else. He only felt that he had gotten a great bargain. As for the hoofing phoenix's egg, it was already given away. How could it be compared to the 18 layers of heavenly flame? This was something that could be passed down for hundreds of years. It was simply incomparable. Hua Tianlin and Hoofing Phoenix personally sent Lin Fei out of the villa. If it wasn't for Lin Fei declining their request, they would have driven Lin Fei back. "Phoenix, if you have nothing to do in the future, you can contact young Master Lin more. He's more powerful than you think." Hua Tianlin watched Lin Fei leave and said to his daughter with a smile, this was an existence that was even more of a bachelor than a diamond bachelor. If their Hua family could have a relationship with Lin Fei, it would be of great help to their Hua family. It could even be said that they would reach the heavens in a single step. "Dad, you're so annoying." Hoofing Phoenix's face turned red. "Didn't you always advise me not to find a random person?" Hua Tianlin said with a smile, "That depends on who it is. For example, Lin Fei isn't someone that just anyone can compare to. This is your fate. Cherish it." Shook House website. Chapter 4071. Hoofing Phoenix's egg. I actually brought such an egg back. On the way back, Lin Fei couldn't believe it. Although this wasn't something rare, and he had seen things more precious than this. This was China. his hometown. Finding a hoofing phoenix's egg had a completely different meaning. More importantly, this hoofing phoenix's egg actually had a trace of life. As long as he arranged it properly, he could definitely hatch this hoofing phoenix's egg. Lin Fei didn't need hoofing phoenix to do anything. He was just satisfied with the previous thought. Raising a phoenix outside was something to be proud of. Back at the Four Seasons Hotel, Lin Fei took out the hoofing phoenix's egg and carefully observed it. With his powerful mental power, he could indeed see that the hoofing phoenix's egg was very different. It was covered with tiny runes. However, these runes had begun to collapse as time passed. At the same time, there was a trace of life leaking out. Although it was very weak and inconspicuous, it was still leaking out. Little guy, you should be glad that you met me. Otherwise, in a few years, you would have become a dead egg. Lin Fei looked at it for a while, then cut his finger and dripped 5 drops of blood. The moment the blood essence landed on the surface of the eggshell, it was completely absorbed. This egg also burst out a scorching aura, rolling like a wave. In this wave, Lin Fei could even feel a trace of joy. Eat more if you like it. Digest it slowly. Anyway, if you follow me, I guarantee that you will have a good life. The 5 drops of blood were quickly digested. Originally, this egg didn't have any special aura. However, after absorbing the 5 drops of blood, it began to emit a scorching aura, causing the temperature of the entire room to rise by more than 10 degrees. It was like a furnace. Because Lin Fei's essence blood was the blood of an immortal, it contained a terrifying pure yang aura. When it landed on hoofing phoenix's egg, it was like a great tonic. If it had been any other creature, they would not have been able to withstand the vast and boundless pure yang aura and would have died on the spot. However, the hoofing phoenix was different. It belonged to the fire lineage, and the more pure the yang, the more it liked it. To Lin Fei, the 5 drops of blood essence weren't a loss at all. However, to the egg, they could be said to have played a crucial role. There would be no loss of life aura for a very long time. Now that the egg was completely stabilized, it only needed a certain amount of time to hatch. Lin Fei casually put the hoofing phoenix's egg into his storage ring. As for the hatching of the hoofing phoenix, he wasn't anxious at all. With his powerful pure yang aura and constant nourishment, the hatching speed should be very fast. Now that I've discovered the hoofing phoenix's bloodline, although the bloodline is sealed layer by layer, as long as I cultivate the 18 heavenly flames, I will naturally be able to unlock it. I just don't know if the other bloodlines exist. If they do, it will be more interesting. Of course, to Lin Fei it was only interesting. After all, no matter how strong the 4 sacred beasts were, they were no match for him. In the next few days, Lin Fei originally thought that he could have a few more days of peace. But with the arrival of the hoofing phoenix, the situation became a little different. This rich lady was very enthusiastic and insisted on taking Lin Fei to play around. However, Lin Fei had already played around once, so he really didn't have much interest in Hangzhou City. After refusing several times, he finally gave up the idea of going with the hoofing phoenix. Even so, the hoofing phoenix still came every day, claiming to be a good guide. The arrival of the hoofing phoenix made another person a little unhappy, and that was Su Shaoan. After all, she used to be Lin Fei's guide. Now that she was inexplicably taken away by the hoofing phoenix, she would definitely be unhappy. The two of them often schemed against each other. However, in front of Lin Fei, she was very enthusiastic. Regarding this situation, Lin Fei simply acted as if nothing had happened. They could do whatever they liked. Lin Fei could still see hoofing phoenix's thoughts. This situation did not last long, because Chief Xue came. As the branch chief of the Yan Huang battle team in Hangzhou City, he naturally knew every move of Lin Fei. Fortunately, Chief Xue did not arrange for people to watch him day and night. "Young Master Lin, did I disturb you by coming here?" Chief Xue came to visit the Four Seasons Hotel. After seeing the hoofing phoenix and Su Shaoan, He regretted coming too early. Whether it was Hoofing Phoenix or Su Shaowan, he knew them, especially the former. Chief Shui also admired Lin Fei's ability. In Hangzhou City, everyone knew that the Hoofing Phoenix was a rich lady with a bad temper. Anyone who wanted to pursue Hoofing Phoenix was beaten badly, so in the end, nothing happened. Now, looking at the situation of the Hoofing Phoenix, if he did not see it with his own eyes, Chief Shui would not believe it. This was completely different from the Hoofing Phoenix in his impression. It was like they were two different people. He could not help but admire Lin Fei's methods. Chief Shui, you must be joking. I can't be happier that you're here. How could you say that I'm disturbing you? Lin Fei was indeed quite happy, because Chief Shui's arrival meant that the dark ruins were going to be opened. After looking at each other, Hoofing Phoenix and Su Shaowan tactfully left. The former knew Chief Shui's ability, while the latter had seen Chief Shui's ability. Naturally, she knew that Chief Shui was here to discuss something important. Seeing that Lin Fei was not angry, Chief Shui was relieved. Chief Shui did not like to be a third wheel. Young Master Lin, I'm afraid there will be a lot of trouble when we go to collect the moon spirit stones this time. After the two of them left, Chief Shui spoke. He looked troubled and helpless. Could it be that some big force is planning to participate in it? Lin Fei had not gone out for the past few days, so he was not very clear about the movements in Hangzhou City. However, he knew that since Chief Shui had said so, something must have happened. Chief Shui smiled bitterly and said, "If it's just the moon spirit stones, there won't be a problem. However, because the place where the moon spirit stones appear is a little different from what we imagined, I'm afraid it will be more difficult to snatch the moon spirit stones this time. After all, the moon spirit stones are located in the dark ruins." At the mention of the dark ruins, Lin Fei knew why Chief Shui was having a headache. Even an expert like Shen Tianquan, who was close to the Xiantian realm, was afraid of the dark ruins, let alone someone like Chief Shui. After all, Chief Shui was not as strong as Shen Tianquan. It's actually the dark ruins? What a coincidence! Lin Fei pretended to be shocked.